Daniel Garb, Jason Saddington, Adam Shirley on the boundary. The teams are out there. Your texts are always welcome. 0437 774 774. We'll keep you across later on at the MCG. Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs. So a massive game there for the Dogs, who currently find themselves outside that top 8. So this is all part of the permutations, the games that mean something in these last few weeks, Garby. There's been some pretty dud games the past few weeks, but there's some big ones coming up. Then later on, West Coast versus Adelaide. Not much expected there, other than Adelaide going a game clear on top of the later to finish round 22.
It's just so exciting at the moment because you honestly feel as if those top 9, I don't know who will miss out and who will scrape in, they can all beat each other from 9 to 1 on any given day. That includes the Crows, who, yes, have been very strong at home, but away from home, not exactly finals experienced. Come September, I think anyone who plays against them would back them to win in that situation. So it's got that feeling about it, and that's why the Giants will fancy themselves. They can just get through the next 3 weeks. They play Gold Coast away next week, then they'll back themselves to win that. Why can't they go on a run from outside the top 4, considering where they've been the last couple of years?
100%. Anyone's capable on their day, and that's what makes it actually very, very exciting. Because normally you go to the ones that you think you can rely on, like a Brisbane or a Collingwood. But, I mean, Collingwood lost 4 of their past 5, and Brisbane, I've lost 2 of their past 3 and are looking great. So it's quite incredible. Geelong's probably one that keeps slipping under the radar. A team that's historically been very good performers, and they keep winning, and they're probably going to finish top 2, 4. It is wide open because you do, like Adelaide, Gold Coast, they're probably both going to finish top 4. But they haven't played finals for a long time, so you always think you can get them.
Yeah, so we've always said you have to finish in the top 4 to win it.
Not this year.
That's been altered a bit with the week off before the finals as well, so that's evened things up. Then you add into that how even it is from 1 through to 9, and it genuinely feels as if anyone from 5 to 8 can pinch the flag.
Yep, and you get on a run. And that's what it's always about too, momentum. And we've seen that across the years. If you've got momentum, at least probably the last round and into finals, and you can just roll through it, you're a massive chance. The Dogs did it, was it 2016? I know we're going back a bit on that one. But I mean, even Brisbane last year, wasn't it? They were in a big hole and had that massive final quarter or second half against the Giants, and then the confidence was up and off they went.
The sun's shining here at Manuka Oval. Both teams are out there warming up. The opening bounce here is just 5 or so minutes away. The Kangaroos are out at the pool or northern end of Manuka Oval. The Giants off to the Cathedral or southern end with the opening bounce. As I say, it's become a beautiful day. There's a few clouds around the place. There was a few showers on the way down here, Garby, in the ABC Sport carpool, but it's a nice day here in Canberra, and should be. There's an opportunity there for the Giants, let's face it, to boost that percentage, and that's the thing. Obviously, no Jesse Hogan, but they do have a lot of goal scorers. I mean, a win here of, say, 6 or 7 goals probably wouldn't be satisfying, albeit, you're trying to steady the ship off the back of last week and that massive loss to the Bulldogs. 10-day break as well. The players should be pretty fresh, but they'll want to think, I think, deep down that they can win by a bit if they can just get control of the game early.
Yeah, and again, going back to what we're talking about before, sort of that midfield is really important for the Giants, but even then, I think the Giants' offensive game will be really hard for the Kangaroos to contain. They're not the strongest defensive unit, the Roos. And I think that's what they're going to struggle with. The Giants get their running game going, even if it is off halfback, which is where the Giants generally like to score from a Lockie Ash and Whitfield setting them up. I think that's going to be really difficult for the Kangas to contain.
Well, North Melbourne also average an inside 50 differential of 17.3 per game, which is the lowest in the comp for what it's worth. Is it just about those fundamentals and sort of, I guess, first use at the clearance and all the rest of it, but just trying to limit all that ball movement of your opposition?
Oh, it always is. But I think too, once it sort of gets in that front half for the Oppo, I think the Kangas really struggle to get it out of the D50 and up into their front half. And that's where the Giants are really strong at bringing it back in.
The other thing they rate quite low in North Melbourne is giving up goals in time on, which the Giants can be that sort of team that can get a few early, get a few in a quick burst and make things harder on the scoreboard.
Aaron Cadman's on 38 goals. Jesse Hogan's on 43. He might get close to winning the Giants' leading goal kicker this season with Jesse sitting on the sidelines.
Oh, would you? Yeah. Oh, I mean, he's a massive chance to kick a bag today too, Cadman. And we have talking about they've got many avenues to goal. So Riccardi's been a noted goal kicker for a number of years, and this year's probably having one of his better years. Toby back in the team is a goal kicker, and obviously Cadman is just getting better and better year by year, week by week, and he's had some big games already this year, so you'd think there's an opportunity for him again today.
Spoke about Steve Cornelio to Cal Ward in that pre-game chat a short time ago, and his 7th game this year now for Stephen Cornelio, of course the former skipper. He's had a few injury concerns the last couple of years, but as he builds back some fitness here, how much of a vital cog, excuse the pun, is he to that Giants side?
Well, he's an important player because when he's winning the ball, he just sets up the game. There's something about Cogs. He's not probably the greatest user of the footy, but he's got this ability to actually turn his involvements into scores and goals. So, if Cogs is getting his hands on the footy, the Giants generally, have a good game. And he's kind of doing that more through that mid part of the ground or front half of the ground. And it's just finding that part of the field where he can probably pinch in through the middle, but he doesn't need to play high midfield minutes. And he can sort of roam, whether it's wing, mid, half forward. And just let his natural abilities and footy IQ and talent take over.
He had 6 tackles and about 20 possessions against Sydney in the derby. Thought he had a really solid game.
Yep.
Last week, none of them can get near it, so you kind of write that off. But it did look like he was building in the right direction, and they need him. They can't rely on Green and Callaghan come finals to do everything, because you come up against deeper midfields, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, they need chop out. And I mean, one player that they're certainly missing and would love to get back is Brent Daniels, because he's that player that's been able to going through the midfield as well. And I think if you've got Callaghan and Green as your mainstays in there, they've got options of players that they can spin through in terms of Cornelio, Callie when he's back, Rouston, he's a sub today, but he can go through there. Daniels when he's playing Bedford. They've got options that they can spin through as sort of that third mid. And that's probably, they just need them all out in the park so they can do that a bit more often.
By the way, toss won by Harry Sheasel. The Kangas will kick to the left of your ABC radio dial. The pool end of Manuka Oval here in the first term in just a few moments' time. The Giants at one stage lost 9 games in a row here at Manuka Oval. They sort of corrected the ship a couple of years ago, won 4 in a row, but they've actually lost both of their games here this year against the Bulldogs and Port Adelaide. So I mentioned North used to play here way back when as one of their home venues, and they call Hobart home as well outside of Melbourne. But yes, the Giants have had a mixed record here of late in the past few years at Manuka Oval in Canberra. Did also catch a glimpse of the Giants banner a short time ago, and it's a nice message. There's no jokes or banter or memes. It's just a nice, heartfelt message for Callan Ward. It says, built our club and culture. He's universally adored. There is no Giants without Callan Ward. So there you go, a nice tribute there for the retiring former skipper. As the players break, Jason Saddington, former Swan and Blue here on ABC Sport. Give us your final couple of thoughts on this game. And I think we've spoken about the disparity, at least on paper, between these two sides. What are you watching out for here today?
From a Kangaroos point of view, you just want to see them super competitive and really be in the game for a long period of time. I think that's what Kangaroo supporters are hoping for. They're probably not expecting to necessarily win, but they want to see their team have some real offensive flow and challenge. For the Giants, they need to bounce back hard. They need to be strong in the middle. They need to kick a big score, and they really need this percentage.
We'll get to Adam Shirley shortly on the boundary line as well here at Manuka Oval as the crowd has filed in. We're just about set for a start here on this Sunday afternoon on ABC Sport. You're with Daniel Garb.
From the nation's capital, it's Kieran Briggs and Tristan Sherry back in the Kangaroo side doing the ruck work. Cornelio gets first hands on the footy. Now Tom Green to Callaghan. That 1-2 punch for the Giants in the middle of the ground. Helps them work it inside 50. Caleb Daniel clears that area. But Cornelio's taken a strong mark just next to the centre square. Rolls the footy in his hands, standing on the logo. Now goes laterally to Harry Himmelberg, who's a couple of weeks away from his 200th game. That'll come up in round 24 against St Kilda at home. Himmelberg goes short towards half forward and finds Xavier O'Halloran a couple of kicks out from goal.
We signed a couple of weeks ago Xavier O'Halloran, a key figure for them, certainly on some days. Here's Whitfield marking it right half forward for the Giants.
Very patient build-up from the Giants with no Hogan deep.
Pops in the pocket. Stringer. Kick was too deep for him. Sheasel rebounds off to Hardiman. He fires the hand pass back to Logue. Works it up the boundary line here towards Sheasel, who's bottled out of play there by Jake Stringer. The umpire will throw it back in at right half forward for the Giants. Let's check in Mary's side. Adam Michelle's there for us this afternoon. Good day, Adam.
Hello, Brett and co. And the wind pushing ever so gently to the pool end. So that's probably maybe a goal in it. Also, both senior coaches coaching from the boundary today, Adam Kingsley and Alistair Clarkson, notable.
Boundary throw an attacking 50 for the Giants. Here's Cornelio. He's been busy early, just pokes it into attack, looking for his good mate in Toby Green, but Riley Hardiman cuts across and spoils it away from the Giants captain over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in the forward pocket, right side for GWS. No score yet.
Adam, Clarko wearing shorts or long strides today?
Looks like he's got the strides on and the full formal kettle on the bottom too. Some nice black shiny shoes.
Back in it comes. Sheasel busy early, clears for the Kangaroos, bounces towards half a back. It's overrun there by Constanti, picked up now by the local lad Tom Green. Tumbles a kick inside 50. It's too wide of Cadman. Out of bounds for a throw in once more at right full forward for the Giants.
Oh, we're just talking about Canelio pre-game, and he's had a terrific start already with a couple of clearances, 3 disposals, really getting his hands on the footy.
2.5 minutes played. The Giants and the Kangaroos. No score here at Manuka so far.
4 inside 50s though for the Giants. Boundary throw in attack for them. Here's Stringer looking for space, caught by Sherry, and he's caught holding the football. So well done by the big Kangaroo ruckman. The Stringer tried to bound away from that pack. Back in the side after that suspension for 3 weeks. It's a strong defensive act. He looks for his options to get the Kangas out of defensive 50. Goes short to Hardiman, who's starting to build into some nice form. He's in the left back pocket. Kangaroos can in. No score yet. 3 minutes gone in the first term, and Himmelberg's marked it on the wing. So the Giants putting North Melbourne under a lot of pressure.
Hasn't left their forward half in this entire game so far.
The Giants will take that every day of the week. If the Kangas are going to go slow, they've got Himmelberg, Taylor, that'll just set up behind and just intercept all day.
Himmelberg to Whitfield. Another short kick down the line here to find O'Halloran. It's a build-up here for the Giants, attacking that Cathedral end of Manuka Oval. Spears a kick inside 50 and finds Stringer, who drops the mark in the right forward pocket. Stoppage inside 50 again here. It's going to be a free kick. In fact, he was being held by Common in the air. So Stringer here will have it in the right forward pocket, no more than 25 metres out.
And obviously been in terrific form, Jake Stringer, over the past month. An opportunity again here today for him to potentially cash in. Again with Hogan out, but also against a team where they're going to get plenty inside 50s, which they already have.
Goals in at least once in all of his 8 games, most recent 8 games. He comes across here on the approach and snaps on the left from the right forward pocket. Trying to say 20 goals in 9 games and counting for Jake Stringer. The Giants have the first of the day. 1 straight 6. North Melbourne yet to score. 4 minutes played in the opening term. On ABC Sport, the expert's Jason Saddington.
Well, just able to win the footy at the clearance, the Giants. They've had slow build-up going inside 50, very patient. The one that got to Springer there was a terrific kick from O'Halloran, just patient, waited. You could see Stringer in the pocket, and then it was a lovely kick that went in, but it's been a patient build-up from them every time they've gone inside 50, and conversely for North, when they've tried to come back out, they've had to go slow also, and you see Himmelberg and Taylor would just keep picking that off.
Adam Shelley on the boundary.
Yeah, really interesting. North veteran Luke Parker acting as a secondary line coach nearly while he's waiting to come on. Lots of talk, lots of instructions to the players on the field, really using that veteran influence, I suppose, to instruct this young group.
Adam, thank you. Giants 1 straight 6. North yet to score. Sunday afternoon footy on ABC Sport. Goal 390 of Jake Stringer's illustrious career as Canelio wins it in the middle again. Gets it towards centre half forward. Lowe can't take the mark. Stringer taps it to his own advantage, but Logue has won the free kick for front-on contact. Gave it all quickly to McKercher. Out wide to Caleb Daniel. Marked it at right half back. They failed to cross halfway, North Melbourne. And we've gone 5 minutes in this contest. Davies Uniacke assesses his options. He'll just have to kick long towards half forward. In the end, finds a better option in Dylan Stevens on the wing. One of 12 top 5 draft picks playing in this game today, Dylan Stevens. He was picked up by the Sydney Swans, of course. Now at North. He sends them inside 50 for the first time this afternoon, but Lekalia is able to take an easy defensive mark, gives it off to Connor Iden, and the Giants are away.
Room to bounce for Iden. Swings it back toward the broadcast side. Had in some space. Riccardi in the contest with Pink, and it's out of bounds for a throw-in between wing and half forward for the Kangaroos.
Well, it's a positive start for Lekalia, and I mean, he wasn't alone last week. The Giants defenders, Sam Taylor, Connor Iden, they let themselves down terribly, had one of their worst performances as a back unit, so they'll be really pumped up to have a big performance tonight. That's a great start from Lekalia.
Lekalia looks set to maybe depart as well and head south for more opportunities as the Kangaroos go forward of halfway. Overrun in defence down there by O'Halloran. Coming in hot there is Geordie Payne on debut, but numbers here at the ball, and Iden rebounds off right half back to a 2-on-1. Outnumbered down there is Cadman, wins it at ground level though. Hand pass almost chopped off there initially by Hardiman, also Wardlaw bursting in. Parker slips a tackle, now sends his kick down the line, a spiralling ball which bounces out of bounds for a throw-in on the members' side of Manuka Oval. 1 straight 6, the Giants. North Melbourne are yet to score. 7 go on first term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
Cooper Trembath gathered that football on debut. No possessions yet for him, but got a touch of the Sherrin at least. As Sherry knocks it down to himself and does his own roving. Goes back to Tom Powell, throws it on the boot. Towards centre half forward it heads for North Melbourne. Sam Taylor comes out strongly, spoils the contest. And then Harvey Thomas puts a nice tackle on as well. So a ball up just outside attacking 50 for North. Had his colours lowered last week, Sam Taylor, which is rare. He'll want to make a big impact this afternoon, the competitive beast that he is.
Sam Darcy got the better of him against the Bulldogs 10 days ago now. Sherry and Briggs both missed it in the ruck. There's a scrap there at ground level. Tom Green had over the football with Parker, and the umpire says, give it to me. It's Luke Parker's first game at Manuka Oval. Of course, being a former Sydney Swan, the Swans don't play the Giants here, so 300 plus games, a new experience for Luke Parker. Hand pass comes back to him. Back to Daniel, little 1-2 there. Fires it back here towards Davies. Uniac run down by Brown. Umpire says play on. Ash can clear it off half back here for the Giants, but Comben intercepts at half back, the other end of the ground for North Melbourne. Only score of the game so far, a goal to GWS. 8 minutes played first term. Kangaroos to get to score.
There's a big run down, Cal Brown. That's what you want to see from a recently re-signed player as well. He's got speed, he's got to use it.
He's won a new 3-year deal, as has Xavier O'Halloran. A couple of Giants who looked like they were about to depart. Won over the hierarchy and got new deals as North switch it across defensive 50. Pink to Logue, McKercher, and now wider to Comben. He sends it up the wing. Darling and Aaliyah battle for it. Jack Darling wins it at ground level. Bouncing ball towards half forward now. Gathered by Wardlaw. He'll centre this, and it's marked by Cooper Harvey. He'll have a shot from about 40 out, slight angle to the right. Try and draw the Kangaroos level.
No, it was an important contest from Jack Darling. With Nick Larkey out of the team, who's certainly their go-to man, their key forward. Darling, with his experience and why he's brought into the club, was obviously compete and lead the young forwards. And he did that on occasion. Just created a contest on the wing against Lekalier. Ball came to ground, which allowed them to get the crumb and get the ball here to Harvey inside 50.
His dad played plenty of games and kicked plenty of goals on this ground. Cooper Harvey, the son of Boomer, the North's first of the afternoon, makes no mistake. And he's making a bit of a name for himself of his own inside this North Melbourne forward line over the last few weeks. Cooper Harvey starting to impress. Managed to find some space and converted from about 48. So 1 straight 6 apiece, 10 minutes gone in the first term.
And great finish. I mean, you've got to kick these goals if you're, probably the underdog coming into the game, and you might not get as many opportunities as your front half. You've got to make the most of the opportunities you do get. So it was a lovely finish. The Giants had a lot of the play in their front half through the first 10, certainly 5 minutes of the quarter and up to the 10 minutes of the quarter. But Kangas capitalising there with their chance that they got. But like I said, Darling, his contest on the wing was really important. They need a lot of that from their key forwards.
He's off contract, Cooper Harvey, so no deal for next year as yet, last I heard. So a positive start today, and indeed over the past few weeks for Cooper Harvey in his 8th career game. So yet to play and a win. Quick clearance here from O'Halloran, breaks the tackle, goes down the line here. Low ball for Logan defence, and he's wrapped up immediately down there by Grajewski. The umpire will ball it up 40 out from the Giants' attacking goal.
Well, their midfield certainly started well, the Giants, are winning the majority of clearance. 1
straight 6 apiece. As Sheasel's kick was chopped off. Ricochets back towards Sherry. Bedford. Hand pass back here to O'Halloran for a couple of steps. Picks out Stringer. Receives it on the bounce. He can snap from 40. It's going right to that pocket, but common in the contest with Riccardi. Affects it out of bounds for a throw-in. So GWS 1 straight 6. So too are the Kangaroos. 11 go on first term. Sunday footy here on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, Daniel Garb, Jason Saddington, Adam Shirley, who's on the boundary for us this afternoon. Fine conditions in the capital this afternoon.
Boundary throw-in. Deep in attack for the Giants. Sherry started nicely, works to the front, taps it down. McKercher sprints away from Cornelio, gets on his left and clears it up the wing. Alair has front position on Darling. Fonte is there. Ball stays in play. The boundary umpire says no, it just went over for a moment. Joe Fonte, a recent rising star. The player to take it over the boundary line. Not too far away from the Tom Green fan club. The Canberra native, Giants captain in waiting.
He lost his first 7 games here on his own deck.
Won a few since then. You see the influence he can have in front of friends and family in his hometown this afternoon as Finn Callahan's taken down by Luke Parker on the wing. Another chance for the Giants to go into attack.
Short kick to find Thomas.
I think Tom Green just this week had the local schools footy competition here in Canberra named after him, the boys comp.
Tom Green Cup. Thomas on his left peg, loads up inside forward 50. Common goes a spoil from behind at the drop there. Toby Green beaten to the football, this time by Wardlaw for the Kangaroos. And now they'll go through McKercher beyond defensive 50. Mark not held there by Constanti. It's out of bounds for a throw-in. We've got listeners throughout WA, SA today, of course, as well as News Radio in New South Wales on the ACT. You can find us, as always, via the ABC Listen app. Today on the AFL Extra button. John's in Bunbury. Get to your text shortly, John. We've got listeners at Rottnest as well. Over there in WA, as well as Lake Coogee. 1 straight 6 apiece here at Canberra. 13 gone first term.
Parker, the handball to O'Sullivan. There's a full 360. Sends it up to half forward. Darling and Alia wrestling again over their heads. Iden has some work to do. Zerha's with him. Zerha does well to trap the footy and then gives it back to Alia. North somehow win it back. Constanti snaps it to a dangerous area. Bouncing ball there, deep in defence for the Giants. Bedford gathers it. Gets it to Himmelberg. The 1-2 between Himmelberg and Toby Green is helping out his defence, the Giants skipper. He's got it back now in the back pocket, and that's an excellent kick to find Darcy Jones, who was under pressure. McKercher was right with him. The kick had to be accurate, and it was. He's marked it just outside defensive 50. The kid with the lid.
He debuted here against the Brisbane Lions last year. Darcy Jones kicked a couple of goals on debut as well. Sends it commentary side. Griffin Logue uncontested. Intercepts here on the logo on halfway.
Yeah, positive start, Logue. He's been able to roll off, get himself loose, intercept, either spoiling or in this occasion, marking.
Logue combines with Comben with that little hand pass here. McKercher goes wide by a foot to the outer side here. So it's with Finn O'Sullivan, who was the round 15 rising star on. Pumps it inside 50. Big intercept grab there by Himmelberg. Floats across the pack. Has it in the left back pocket. It's still 1 straight 6 apiece here, the Giants and the Kangaroos on ABC Sport. 14 gone first term.
Ash to Cornelio. Good mark, Himmelberg, by the way. He started brilliantly for the Giants. Himmelberg sends it out wide. Cornelio does. To Gruzevski. Now to half forward. Darcy Jones has space in front of him. That's dangerous for North. Just leaves it behind him, though. Too much speed at his disposal there, Darcy Jones. He overran the football and it's gone over the boundary line. 1 straight 6 apiece. We'll have a throw in. Left half forward, just outside 50 for the Giants. 14 and a half minutes gone. Sunday afternoon footy on ABC Sport from the nation's capital. Here's Brett Sprigg.
John asked about how many games does Pendles need to catch up to Boomer Harvey for the most game. I think it's about 12 from memory. At 4:32 for Boomer. He's on 4:20 Scott Pendlebury, or maybe 4:21 now. I'm trying to think. Anyway, he's getting there. He'll play on next year, won't he, Scott Pendlebury? So
yeah.
He will be the new games record holder. Some of the current one is out there now. Cooper Harvey kicked their first goal, the Kangaroos. Here's a hand pass from Davies Uniacke. They get some run going now. Hand pass miss Stevens. It's a run down from behind there. Stringer, a great tackle. As Callum Brown comes in, makes a contest. Whitfield gathers, wrapped up there by Davies Uniacke, and the umpire will ball it up again here, middle of Manuka Oval. 1 straight 6 apiece. 16 going first term. Sunday footy here on ABC Sport.
Riccardi and Teakle. The second ruck's going at it, and Luke Parker has won a free kick in the middle of the ground. Game 313 for him, but he's first on Manuka Oval. Luke Parker, a 5-time winner of the Brett Kirk medal, of course, which the Giants contest up against the Swans. He's been a thorn in GWS's side over the years. He went short to Sheasel, now inside 50 for Darling. Tried to get his kick away. He was run down and caught holding the football, Jack Darling. Well done by Sam Taylor, who has won that free kick in the left back pocket.
They just give Brett Kirk the scissor and call it the Parker Ward medal for best on ground in the derby.
Did Callum Ward ever win it, though? Maybe one.
Oh, I reckon he had at least one.
Okay.
I'm going to look this up. All my derby stats are a couple of weeks ago, but he wasn't playing. To the outer side here, the kick from Taylor. at the drop. It's won back now by Payne for the Kangaroos, one of their 2 first-timers this afternoon. Jones onto it now, does the crumbing. He was tackled by O'Sullivan. Footy comes loose. Davies-Uniacke gets to it now. Little shepherd there on Jones. It was picked up there by Fonte. Now comes back to Callaghan. He breaks the Sheasel tackle. Kicks down that eastern side of Manuka Oval, and Stringer takes a strong grab. Now they're surging forward. Stringer puts it back into the corridor. Tom Green's out and running now. Has some good vision inside forward 50, and Callum Brown gets back and marks in space. 20 out directly in front.
He won 2, Cullen Ward, 2014 and 2017.
That's enough. It was the first time the Giants were able to get some space. Stringer, when he took a great contested mark there, but the middle of the ground opened up. The Giants had 3 players streaming through. Tom Green was the one that ended up with it. And once they got it inboard, the forwards, Cal Brown, Cadman, they were streaming back towards goal, and he was able to hit Cal Brown. But the first time they were able to get some free space through the middle of the ground.
Re-signed on a 3-year deal recently, Callum Brown. Goalless in his past couple of games. Off to a good start here. The Giants have their second. 2 straight 12. North Melbourne are 1 straight 6. 17 and a half played the opening term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Coming up later on, Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs. That's at the MCG. And West Coast hosts Adelaide in the final game of AFL round 22.
A Melbourne Dogs game, that's huge again, isn't it, in terms of this top 8. But Cal Brown, I mean, we were talking earlier around with Hogan out, opportunities or avenues to goal for the Giants, and Cal Brown probably wasn't one that we mentioned, but I mean, he's a notable goal kicker. He's kicked his bags of 4 and 5 before. So he's another one that's a great avenue to goal for the Giants, along with Stringer, Riccardi, Cadman. They've got plenty of options up there.
Cullen Brown on the board. Giants 2 straight 12. North 1 straight 6. 18 minutes gone in the first term. That's a terrible bounce by the umpire, so we'll bring that back. May lose the bounce next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Greg Swan's spoken about that. The incoming head of footy at the AFL, so this could be a big off-season development.
I don't like it.
Going? You don't like it going?
No, keep it.
Sherry down to Davies-Uniacke. Now Parker.
You might be on your own on that, Spriggy.
North go inside 50. Sam Taylor slaps it away from that area and then emerges with the footy as well. The superstar Giants defender puts it out in front of Stringer on the wing. Combin's there, so is Grozewski. Well done, youngster. Tapped it to himself and then found Stringer, who had taken it over the boundary line. So we'll have a throw in between the 2 benches on the wing.
Probably a good thing he did take it over Stringer, because he then kicked it out in the full. So it was better he stepped over the line before he kicked it.
2 straight 12 the Giants. North Melbourne 1 straight 6. 19 minutes gone in the first term.
I'm not great at debating though, so when it comes to sort of arguing my case for the bounce, I say, I like it and it's tradition and keep it there, but beyond that it's not much else. Briggs from the ruck contest, inside forward 50, 2 on 2. Pink, good body there, and Cadman. Loose ball gathered by Cadman, back to Stringer, who turns and snaps and goals on the run for his second. 2 early goals for the package. And the Giants have some breathing space here early. 3 straight 18. The Kangaroos are 1 straight 6 as we approach time on here in the opening term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport with former Swan and Blue Jason Saddington.
Wow, Stringer, what a hot start for him. I mean, he's kicked the 2 now himself, but he also had a hand in the other one. 3 score involvements for Stringer. He's the lively one up forward, which is great to see. I mean, like we said, he's had a terrific month of footy. He's back to the Stringer. It's of old that's produced his best blistering football, and it's highly entertaining. But the most amazing thing is he just has this knack to know where the goals are, isn't it? He barely looked at the sticks before he sort of snapped it around his body and threw it on the boot, but it was dead straight and bounced through. He's had a really, really hot start.
He had no goals and 2 behinds in his last game at Manuka. He's got 2 here this afternoon so far.
In the absence of Jesse Hogan, he is super important to this Giants forward line. A massive X factor. Jake Stringer, and they've won it in the middle again. Callaghan's handball, though, is far from convincing, so North have won it back. Here's Davies-Uniacke. Sends them deep into attack. Alia's there, could have taken the mark. Heard something from behind, didn't do too much with it, and then Ash puts a tackle on Jack Darling, and he's caught him high, so it's a free kick to Jack Darling. We'll now have a shot after that free kick against from Lockie Ash from just inside 50 on a very tight angle at right half forward.
The high ball in at the moment for the Kangas, the Giants are easily being able to defend that, whether it's Lecalier getting the front spot or Himmelberg coming across to take intercept marks. They need to find a way to hit up some forwards leading up at the footy or change the angles on the Giants' defenders, because the high ball is just getting picked off pretty easy.
Jack Darling's 318th game of his career and his first at Manuka Oval. From a very tight angle, a fair way out. He's missed to the near side, through for a behind. 19 goals from his 19 games this season. Jack Darling, he's done the job North have asked him to do without much success in the wins column this season. Down to Adam Shirley on the boundary.
Yeah, just quickly, North's Riley Hardiman up into the rooms looking very frustrated, not sure what the ailment might be though.
Okay, keep an eye on that, Adam. Thank you. Here's Iden, who receives a kick out, goes beyond defensive 50. Over the back of the pack there as Krzyzewski seeks the boot out there. It's coming inboard now for McKercher. He's missed it. Toby Green bursting by. Run down by Pink, but Green's kick effective to find Cadman at full forward. Floats the hand pass across to Callum Brown, who has some work to do, but snaps his second goal. Oh, there was danger. Caleb Daniel lurking. I'm not sure Cadman saw him. And Griffin Logue there as well. But Callum Brown does, after some work, get his second goal. And the Giants have their four straight 24. The Kangaroos are 1-1-7 as the home side goes coast to coast. 22 gone, first term ABC Sport.
There's been a couple of kicks down the line lately from the Giants. Krzyzewski's had a real good influence on. He's been able to create a contest or at least get his hands on it. And that time he grabbed it and he just threw it on the boot. The North defenders need to make sure they're bringing the ball forward there on the wing, spoiling it, not letting it get over their head. And that's what happened on that occasion. Once the Giants got through, Toby Green was able to run onto it. Cadman, he shared it around, but gee, Cal Brown, he had to dance around a couple to finish it off.
Some concerning signs, though, early for North. A goal like that coming far too easily for GWS so early in this game. Davies Uniacke well tackled by Finn Callaghan. With a secondary ball up in the middle of the ground. 4 straight 24 the Giants, 2 to Stringer, 2 to Brown. North Melbourne 1-1-7. Sherry wins it cleanly, but then he's run down by Briggs and caught holding the football. Took too long to get rid of it, Sherry. The Giants play on quickly all the way down to Cadman, who's taken the mark. They're on early, GWS. Embarrassed last week against the Bulldogs. A long kick marked by Cadman. He'll have a shot from 10 metres out, slide angle to the left to make it 5 straight.
They're scoring at ease at the moment. It's because they're winning the ball in the middle, and on that occasion it was more Kieran Briggs being able to chase down Cherry and put the pressure on and make the tackle. Once he got the free kick, Stringer was quick to get onto it and take the advantage. And Cadman, we'll just see if he can get one out these days. He's tough to stop. That was a really strong mark.
Stringer dominating early. Cadman's chance to get on the board is taken. Goal 39 of his season. And GWS 5 straight 30. North Melbourne 1-1-7. 24 minutes gone in the first term. Sunday afternoon footy on ABC Sport. It's concerning, Jason Saddington, right now for North.
It is. It absolutely is. They're struggling to stop the Giants when they win the footy, whether it's coming out of defensive 50. But every time they get in their front half, they're finding it really difficult to be able to contain Cadman, Brown, Stringer. They're just winning their contests up forward. But Kieran Briggs, he was the one that set up that goal. He's chase and tackle on Cherry. And that's what Kieran Briggs was drafted for. He was a ruckman that could get physical and chase and tackle and hurt the opposition. And that was a wind back to his drafting days.
There's obviously plenty of talk around his place in the side when Nick Madden was pushing through, but Kieran Briggs has held his place and then some. And the clearance left behind by Davies Uniacke. Tom Green can't clear either. Some pressure here on the Kangaroos in the middle. Davies Uniacke tries again, but Canelio plucks it clear. Room to move now. He just swades away and kicks inside 50. It was low and awkward there for Riccardi. Hand pass from Bedford comes out, gathered by Logue. He hit the deck as well. He was held without the football, and it will be a free kick going the way of Griffin Logue, the former Docker. 30 out from defensive goal here. It's the Giants who lead by 23 points.
Lowe goes short to Wardlaw. It's marked at centre half back. Laterally he sends it to Comben. Assessing his options. It is slow going for North. Already trailed by 4 goals, so he just sends it to half forward. Parker will leap at it, punched away from him by Taylor, down to Tom Green. Looping handball over the top to Darcy Jones, back to Green. It gives Caleb Daniel the don't argue, but catches him high because Caleb Daniel goes up to his shoulders, so he stuck the arm out.
How often do you see the ball carrier penalised for too high?
If Caleb Daniel wasn't as short as he is, I think that would have been okay, but didn't.
It's normally a fend off into the chest, isn't it?
Take into account the opponent, Tom Green, so rightfully, Caleb Daniel wins his free kick, sends it towards half forward, and Sam Taylor eventually takes it over the boundary line. GWS 5 straight 30, North 117.
The slow game's not going to work for the Kangas. I spoke about the Giants defenders are just going to keep picking it off. They have to find a way or take some risk. Either come inside, get some run and carry and some handballs into their game, because the slow game's not going to work.
Giants by 23 late in the first term here at Manuka. Through the congestion, Fonte tackled with the football, and now O'Halloran wraps up Davies Uniacke. The umpire says, give it to me. At left half forward at the pool end of Manuka. That's the left of your radio dial, to which North Melbourne are attacking. Just the one goal for them so far through Cooper Harvey. Up it goes. And Briggs and Sherry in the ruck. And now Canelio clears for the Giants. Out to the wing. Comben competes with Cadman, gets the better of him. Fires the hand pass back here. Davies Uniacke. And now Daniel all the way back to Sheasel, the acting skipper. Now to Daniel, the former dog. Looks to turn O'Halloran inside out. Under some pressure here is Logue. Fends away O'Halloran. Daniel tries again. Pushed off the kick. Wobbles towards half forward here. Davies Uniacke does mark this time. Still 75 from goal.
Plays on quickly. And there's a whistle here. And there's going to be a free kick the way of North Melbourne. It'll go to Jack Darling. So
holding Darling.
Yeah, Davies Uniacke kicked it deep into attack, but there is more advantage if Darling can take his shot from 45. Tight angle to the left it may be. So he's kicked one behind already in this first term, Jack Darling. This angle suits the right footer a bit better. It's a snap from a long way out. He's pulled it to the near side again. So North 1-2-8, GWS 5 straight 30, late stages of the first term, down to Adam Shirley.
North sub Bailey Scott getting a rub down and warming up. He hasn't got the tracksuit top off yet, but it could be an imminent sub early on for North Melbourne.
Riley Hardiman off the ground having treatment. Thank you, Adam. Lockie Whitfield. And the kick out here for the Giants, long to the outer side, 2-on-2, floating across, a strong contested grab. Taken on the outer side out there by Dersma. Of course, we called his brother Xavier last week, and now Zane this week. Pops it inside forward 50. Deep it goes inside 50, but at the back there is Connor Ryden. Shares it with Whitfield.
No.
Another free kick here as Trembath was felled. So you've got a push there from Sam Taylor. Behind play, and this will be opportunity for one of their two debutants today, North Melbourne. Cooper Trembath will line up here and take his set shot from 30 out on a slight angle right of centre.
There we go, last couple of shots from ill discipline from the Giants defenders. Himmelberg gave away the last free kick, which allowed Darling to get the shot on goal, and Taylor on Trembath.
19-year-old from Eastern Rangers, plays key position, sometimes forward, sometimes back. He's playing up forward here. Trembath in his first AFL game. First kick, first goal. There it is. They have their second major, the Kangaroos, 2-2-14. The Giants are 5 straight 30 as we approach the half-hour mark here in the opening terms. Sunday footy on ABC Sport, Jason Saddington.
Well, well done, Cooper Trembath. He's had to do it the harder way. I think missed his draft year last year, wasn't taken, has had to wait until his 19th year, mid-season draft to be taken.
The VFL form for the same club.
Yep, and then picked up. So he's worked hard at it. His athletic profile is unbelievable. He's a specimen. He's tall. He can play both ends. He's got power. So I'm sure he's going to have a bright future now. He's got his opportunity at AFL level, and it's great to see him work his way into their senior team so quickly.
His family's in the crowd, including his nan. And just seen them on the big screen all huddling up.
There's tears too.
Oh, there are tears as well from the grandmother. That's wonderful to see. His parents, I assume, sitting either side of his grandmother in the stands here at Manuka Oval as Canelio is wrapped up in the middle of the ground. Toby Green it is, in fact. GWS 5 straight 30, North 2-2-14. Well done, Cooper Trembath, who looks like a young Daniel Kerr, a taller version of, if you're listening and you're not quite sure how to picture him. A goal with his first kick in AFL footy. And yes, Davies Uniacke is doing his best to get North going. Handball to Powell, 55 out, long kick is wide. North at 2-3-50 now, GWS 5 straight 30. And we've got a minute to go in the first term.
I do like that though. North are looking better offensively when they're in open play, aren't they? They're able to run, handball a bit. When they've been slowed up, they look really easy to defend. But once it's in open play live ball, they're actually generating some opportunities.
There is movement downstairs as far as North's potential sub here. Bailey Scott, Riley Hardiman off the ground still as this kick from Connor Iden goes out of bounds on the full on the commentary side wing. in front of those benches, which are side by side here at Monica, the North and the Giants benches. Griffin Logue takes the kick in, sends it towards half forward. Big 2-on-2. Constanti wins it down here. Zerha through traffic. It's tracked back here by Geordie Payne. Over his shoulder there for Zerha. Onto it now, gives the fend on Connor Ryden. Can he keep it alive? It goes straight to Himmelberg. Intercepted there in the right back pocket. The Giants keep a 15-point lead here in Canberra.
Himmelberg chips it to Lockie Ashes, almost left it behind. That his own defensive goal square had Himmelberg in support, though they got out of trouble. That looked really dicey for a moment for the Giants as Himmelberg switches it to Angwin, and now they can go on the outer side. Up to Riccardi, made a good contest, but Toby Pink tracked that well. Got back and affected Riccardi's efforts to mark, took it over the boundary line for a throw-in on the outer side. It's a bit cloudy here at Monica, so the lights are on. And North have just managed to work their way back into this first term after the Giants had opened up a nice lead. 5 straight 30, the home side. North Melbourne 2-3-15.
Just give us no rain for the drive home later on. No evening fog either, Garby, as a shove's been called here on Sherry against Briggs. So a free kick going the Giants' way late in the opening term. He thumps it deep inside forward 50. Cadman from behind there on Logue. At the drop though, Dersma gets a hand pass away. Powell tries to help him out as well. Good tackle from Bedford. It's come back here again for a free kick. It's going to be going the Kangaroos' way. And McKercher spots up there Cooper Harvey, the man diving in at centre-half back. 5 straight 30 the Giants. The Kangaroos are 2-3-15. And that is quarter time in the nation's capital. A great start for the Giants. Pulled back somewhat there by the visitors late in that time on period. So far in the game, 2 goals each for Callum Brown and Jake Stringer. 1 for Aaron Cadman. I suppose in lieu of Jesse Hogan, you couldn't ask for a better balance of goal kickers as far as those names up forward for GWS. Meanwhile, for the North Melbourne side, it's been all the Coopers, Cooper Harvey and Cooper Trembath. On debut, Trembath with a goal with his first kick. So it's 5 straight 30 plays, 2-3-15. The Giants and the Kangaroos here on ABC Radio, News Radio and the ABC Listen app. This is Sunday Footy on ABC Sport.
Hello, Patrick Stack here. Do you like sport and good conversation? Then we've got a great podcast for you. One cracking story, in depth, every day, in under 15 minutes. It's called ABC Sport Daily, and you can find it on the ABC Listen app.
This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
Jack Darling wins it at ground level. Bouncing ball towards half forward now. Gathered by Wardlaw. He'll centre this, and it's marked by Cooper Harvey. The North's first of the afternoon. Makes no mistake.
Stringer puts it back into the corridor. Tom Green's out and running now. Has some good vision inside forward 50, and Callum Brown gets back and marks in space. 20 out directly in front. Goalless in his past couple of games. Off to a good start here. The Giants have their second from the ruck contest. Inside forward 50, 2-on-2. Pink, good body there, and Cadman. Loose ball gathered by Cadman. Back to Stringer, who turns and snaps and goals on the run for his second. 2 early goals for the package.
Cadman's chance to get on the board is taken. Goal 39 of his season. And GWS 5 straight 30. North Melbourne 1-1-7.
Trembath in his first AFL game. 19-year-old from Eastern Rangers, plays key position, sometimes forward, sometimes back. First kick, first goal. There it is. They have their second major, the Kangaroos, 2-2-14.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Yeah, 2 debutants on board for Alistair Clarkson's men today here in Canberra. Cooper Trembath is one of them, and he kicked a goal late in that opening term to cut the Giants' lead back to 15 points at the first change. You're with Brett Sprigg alongside Daniel Garb. We've got Adam Shirley on the boundary, and our expert here this afternoon is former Sydney Swan and Carlton Blue, Jason Saddington.
The Giants got the hot start, didn't they? The first 5 minutes, all the ball was in their front half, and it was off the back of some clearance work. Canelio got his hands on the footy early. He finished with 7 for the quarter, but he probably had 3 in the first couple of minutes with a couple of clearances. O'Halloran got his hands on the footy early and some clearances. And the Giants were able to play the game in their front half, but through the second half of the quarter, the Kangas were able to work their way into it. And apart from probably a 3 or 4 minute period where the Giants went whack, whack, whack and kicked a few goals, from Stringer, Brown and I think Cadman all in quick succession, it was a pretty even sort of quarter. And if you looked at statistically, it says that, clearance, contest, uncontested marks, kicks, handballs, everything's even across the board. But the only difference in the game is when the Giants have been able to go quick and get it forward, they've been able to capitalise in their front half, where the Kangas, when they're going slow, they're just finding it a little bit difficult to find their way through, and players like Himmelberg, Taylor and Iden are just able to pick the ball off. I mean, Himmelberg's particularly, he's had a very good quarter with the 8 touches and a couple of intercepts. But when the Kangas have been in live play and open ball, I feel like they're looking a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more chaotic, and I think the Giants defenders probably struggle a little bit more when it's a little bit less predictable. And, if the Kangas can find a way to come through corridor, or at least get some handball receives and move the game a little bit quicker, I think that's going to trouble the Giants' defence a little bit more. But and then on a defensive side for the Kangas, they just need to be rock solid down back and try and contain your Stringers and Browns and Cadmans, because when the ball's going to them one-on-one or a contest, they're a little bit hard to beat.
Griffith Logue's been busy.
He's been busy. He's been able to roll off and try and get third man across and third man up as a key defender, and I think that's what allowed him to have a little bit of impact. Unfortunately, a couple of times, though, when he's not quite impacted that contest and it's gone over the back of that long ball up the wing, the Giants have been able to get it through, and that's how they got a couple of their goals.
Voice of Swans great and former Blue Jason Staddington on ABC Sports Sunday afternoon from the capital, GWS against North Melbourne. Davies, Uniacke and Parker started to win some clearances. Sherry was doing some nice work.
Yep.
That helped them get back into the quarter, didn't it?
Well, it did, because like I said, early on it was the Giants that got the clearance and were able to get the ball in the front half. But once the Kangas can get their hands on it, they're able to get the ball into their forward 50 and front half as well. And like I said, if it's from clearance, it's a little bit less predictable. But when they're held up and going slow, they find it a bit tougher to find a way through. But they're really important players. And Luke Parker, obviously highly experienced, certainly in the back end of his career. But if he can keep having that influence, he's an important player for them.
Few numbers, Garby, to the quarter-time break.
Yeah, so Himmelberg, 8 disposals. He's taken a few big marks as well, so he's been really good down back. Cornelio, we spoke about the 4 ground ball gets, 5 contested possessions in his 7. He's adding some grunt in the middle of the ground for the Giants. Whitfield and O'Halloran with 6. Stringer with 5 kicks, 4 score involvements and a couple of goals. He has been really dangerous in attack. Callum Brown has 2 goals as well for the Giants. Cadman has their 5th. For North, Logue with 7, as we mentioned. Caleb Daniel trying his best to get them going out of defensive 50 with 7 touches as well. And then Davies, Uniacke and Parker have been really good in the middle of the ground with 7 touches as well. Sheasel has his usual 7 in the first quarter. So some prominent names there for North. Started to get into the game as the quarter wore on, but it's the Giants who lead by 15 points with the second term not too far away from commencing.
Adam, I fancy that the sub has been made for North Melbourne. Adam Shirley come into the boundary.
That it has. Bailey Scott starting on field, so that's Riley Hardiman out. I'm still not sure what the injury is, but it's definitely Bailey Scott in.
I think it's concussion, based on just a few things I can see up here. So concussion for Hardiman, and he was out in the first 10 minutes or so of the game.
And certainly didn't see that. Must have been in a very tight contest and quite innocuous.
It's a shame. Wouldn't mind seeing him go head-to-head with his old mate Darcy Jones, former Swan Districts teammates, both 20 years of age from the Swan Valley. So alas, Riley Hardiman subbed out. Into the second term here in Canberra. The Giants by 15 points. There are the rucks, Sherry and Briggs. One down there for Sheasel. The acting captain clears towards half forward. Left behind down there by Geordie Payne. They're scrapping for it. Lockie Ash, it was a tunnel ball, it was a throw. And it was picked out there by the umpire. So it's going to be a free kick to North Melbourne. And Geordie Payne, the other debutant here for the Kangaroos. We saw Cooper Trembath kick a goal late in that first term. Geordie Payne from North Launceston, the number 1 pick in last year's mid-season draft, goes wide to the pocket, wants to find the target then there in Parker, got a spoil from behind Himmelberg. It's come to ground here and will board up. Geordie Payne sounds like the name of a character in a Guy Ritchie movie or something.
It does, doesn't it?
Geordie Payne.
Yeah, very 1990s.
90s.
I'm even going back more your Peaky Blinders type.
Okay.
Sherry down to Zerha, who left it behind in attack for North. Good tackle on him by Harvey Thomas. Ball spills free. And Halloran's there as is Tom Powell. Toby Green eventually comes in and gathers the football. The 1-2 with Cornelia. They don't clear the area though. Green wins it back eventually. Gets it to Thomas by hand. Now O'Halloran. 3 handballs in a row from the Giants. Callahan though had it stripped away from him and Parker gathers it. Goes short to Sheasel. That was barely the 15, but Sheasel's paid the mark in the middle of Manuka Oval. He'll switch it. There's a man free in Dersma, who made his debut against the Giants. Round 1 last season. He goes short to O'Sullivan at centre half forward. Now deep into attack. The leap is from Zerha. Couldn't take the grab. Taylor to Whitfield. Sold him into trouble. Angwin has to pick it up under pressure at the top of his own defensive goal square. Eventually does. Got it to Whitfield. That's a brilliant kick on his left. Running away to find Darcy Jones outside defensive 50. He plays on quickly. Here goes the tsunami. Jones to Cadman. Slaps it forward to Bedford. Gathers it. Finds O'Halloran. Looks for Ash, about the 5th handball in a row from Ash to Cornelio. Callahan just chips it over the top and Callum Brown is marked. He'll play on, waltz through and kick another one for the Giants. That's his 3rd, and that is the orange tsunami at its absolute best for GWS as Wardlaw now limps to the ground in another worrying sign for North Melbourne. Jason Saddington.
Well, the tsunami got rolling. It almost got cut off there by the Kangas on the wing. If they had to cut it off, they were going to go back the other way and potentially get themselves a shot on goal. But it was a little Darcy Jones able to get a little knock on when they were under that amount of pressure that almost intercepted it. But once they got through, the next 3 handballs opened up and Cal Brown was able to get out the back. We haven't seen a lot of the tsunami. I think the Kangas have been pretty good at containing the run through the first quarter and a bit here, but once it did come through, it's hard to stop, that's for sure.
Adam Shelley on the boundary.
Just on George Wardlaw. They're not diving for the ice straight away. It might be a restrapping, an attempt to get him back out of this situation. He doesn't look in too much pain.
That would be trouble, having already made their sub, Riley Hardiman, due to concussion. And the clearance happens here through Davies Uniacke. Inside 50 here for the Kangaroos. Geordie Payne run down there by Whitfield, and the umpire says, yep, holding the ball. Whitfield to Ash. He goes bounding off half-back here for the Giants. Kicks some space on the outer side. Toby Green plays on there around O'Sullivan. Room to move now. Shrugs away the tackle again from O'Sullivan. Pops it inside 50. It's marked by Bedford. 40 out on the 45-degree angle. And that was far too easy that time for the Giants.
It looks like there's a big focus from the Giants to go a bit quicker.
I'm not sure I've seen a player less concerned with the tackle incoming than Toby Green was there from O'Sullivan. Just knocked him off as if he was a primary school kid.
Shoe fly. But they've definitely gone quicker with their ball movement already this quarter. It's only 3 minutes in, but from their back half, they're looking to take it on and move it, and they've been able to get the Kangas out the back.
Toby Bedford kicked a couple of goals against the Swans in the derby. Kicked a goal against the Dogs last week as well. Kicking here from 48. It's right to the line and through. What have just carried. Are they going to review this? I fancy they will. On-field call, and my call is goal. As we'll go to the arc and just check this from Toby Bedford, but this will be otherwise a new game high lead if the Giants do have this. And I think Sherry's up there. At least the right man's there.
I think the umpire's call is behind.
Okay. Well, my call was goal, but that doesn't matter, does it? It's more about what happens here.
Soft and the replay looks like it'll be touched too, I think.
Oh, it's not quite
over the line. Touched.
Well, that's at least the right move. Tristan Sherry's there. You want your tallest player on the ground on the goal line.
Yep.
How many times you see blokes kick goals and it just sort of just ducks in and no one's there to stop it?
Coach.
That will be a behind. Killer. So there you go. That's their first behind the Giants. They'll be 6-1-37. Plays 2-3-15. There is the confirmation that it is a behind for Toby Bedford. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. We'll keep you across the Demons and the Dogs later on at the MCG. West Coast versus Adelaide to finish as well.
Giants by 22 points. Caleb Daniel brings it back in. No Larkey or Curtis for North this afternoon, so Cam Zerha playing as their deepest forward, matched up by Connor Ryden as the kick goes up to the wing. Sam Taylor slipped over trying to gather the football. Whitfield mops up, but he's taken over the boundary line by Jacob Constanti, another former Swan in this North Melbourne outfit, along with Stevens and Toby Ping and Luke Parker.
Yep.
Boundary throw-in, right in front of Adam Kingsley, who's coaching from the boundary line. Sherry wins front position, down to Parker, another clearance for him. Got it to Davies Uniacke. Didn't quite connect with it though, North, so Tom Green's able to gather just outside his own defensive 50. Stringer's handball though is turned over. Constanti, the quick kick looking for Zerha. Eventually gathered by Scott, the sub, who's on for Hardiman, who's off injured. And then it's a nice tackle by Angwin on McKercher. Ball up just inside attacking 50, right half forward for North Melbourne.
You mentioned the plethora of top 5 draft picks out there, Garvey. Constanti was a first rounder himself, I'm pretty sure. Wasn't top 5, but it was a late first round of the Swans. Didn't play a game for the Swans, of course. And now at North Melbourne, here's Harvey Thomas for the Giants. Little hand pass there as it's come wide back to Tom Green. And now Cornelio, who's fairly uncontested. Floats it wide now, back to Darcy Jones. Off and running here. Loose man O'Halloran on the commentary wing. Back to Darcy Jones. He's still running. Pops it inside forward 50. Targets there are plenty. Grajewski wins it through the air and has paid his mark. 35 from goal on the 45-degree angle.
You got a feel for North's defence, don't you? They're just under the pump. When the Giants can get their handballs going and get through the contest like they did, once they got out again, it's just one-on-one fast ball movement. It's really hard to defend.
Max Grajewski among the two inclusions this week. Debuted in the Derby last year. Played 4 games last year. This is now his 5th of this campaign. Good VFL form recently as well, Max Grajewski. Kicked a few bags in recent times. His set shot here is narrow to the left-hand side. The Giants are 6-2-38. North Melbourne 2-3-15. 7.5 played second quarter. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
He's one that might have some suitors in Melbourne. I mean, it's tough for him to get into this forward line. Hogan's absence provides the opportunity, but with Hogan back, it's hard to win a place, and he's probably at that stage in his career where he may want more opportunities. Max Grajewski, he's proven himself to be too good for the VFL, really. So there might be some teams in Melbourne who will be keen for a key forward as North send this out in front of Dylan Stevens. He takes it over the boundary line, right half back for North.
It probably says a little bit about why the Giants are a dangerous team, because at the other end of the ground, like a Lecalier is another one that's talk around opportunities elsewhere, because he struggles getting that defensive 6 when you've got Buckley and Iden and Taylor all playing. So they're both parts of the ground, their key players, really, really strong for the Giants.
Giants lead by 23 points, and they've won it here at half forward. Green to O'Halloran and now Cornelio. Clever kick, finds Callum Brown in the lead. He's marked it just outside 50, thinks about playing on. His teammates tell him, Cow, you're one of the biggest kicks in the league. You can roost this with ease from outside 50. Go back on your mark and search for what would be your 4th goal inside a quarter and 9 minutes of the second.
Well, that's true, isn't it? I mean, if you're on, you're on, and he is a great kick of the footy. He's already kicked 3. He's having a bit of a day out.
Especially a slight breeze behind him.
And no problem with the distance.
The Irishman, a 3-year contract, recently signed. 3 goals to his name already. No problem with the distance at all, and he snuck it through too. 4 goals for Callum Brown. Inside a quarter and 9 minutes here at Manuka Oval. GWS 7-2-44, North Melbourne 2-3-15, and that was another beautiful kick from distance from the Irishman.
He's just having a hot start. Halfway through the second quarter, 4 goals on the board. And again, he wasn't the one we mentioned in the pre-game around avenues to goal for the Giants, but he's certainly been a great target. He's been able to get loose. He's getting up high around the ground too, and I think it's Logue that sort of sits off, but once it goes back in that forward 50, he's finding himself getting free, either streaming back in towards goal or hitting up there like he did at the top of the 50.
A new game high, 29-point lead for the Giants. Adam Shirley on the boundary.
Yeah, George Wardlaw pretty ginger through those initial run-throughs, particularly the change of direction. He's on the bike now. I'm not sure how much of a role he'll have from here.
Here's the clearance for Davies Uniacke. Hand pass to the outside. Scott, the sub, who was brought on for Riley Hardiman. So that sub's been made already. Due to concussion. All the way back towards Sheasel at halfback. Pumps it down the line. Spoiled out from Himmelberg on the back of Constanti. Ash bursts away here for the Giants. Room to bounce on the outer wing. Sends his long raking kick inside 50. Toby Pink in the contest with Toby Green. One down by a stringer. Back to Riccardi. Back to Toby Green, who snaps and misses to the right-hand side. So again, the build-up was quick there from the Giants. A minor score there for the skipper, 7-3-45. North Melbourne is still 2-3-15, their quarter-time score.
It's certainly ominous signs. This Giants running game starting to pick up, and Kanga's just really, really struggling to get that second layer around the contest and stop the handball chain. And once it's gone inside 50, it's very hard for him to defend.
McKercher plays on from the kick-in as a bounce and finds O'Sullivan. Both McKercher and Zane Dersma made their debuts against GWS round 1 of last year. 2 of 12 top 5 picks playing this afternoon across both clubs. Once again, North struggling to get moving out of defence, so they chip it back to Comben. He finds O'Sullivan, who worked really hard to present an option. Takes the mark at right half back, just outside defensive 50. Grajewski standing the mark. Kicks to half forward. Fonte with a big leap and almost a big grab. Parker just manages to soccer it forward towards half forward. Here's Trembath on debut. Inside to Powell, and then Bedford catches Powell holding the football. Joe Fonte almost took mark of the year. Beautiful leap at half-back. Couldn't quite bring it down. Giants win it back anyway.
Bedford here for the Giants. Sends it towards half-forward. Pink in the contest. Got a nudge there on Callum Brown. It's off-handed over for a throw-in. Just forward of the wing, commentary side.
That was something new in Joe Fonte's game. We've seen him look really classy and skillful. He's got a bit of a step and he uses it well, very composed. But the overhead fly, that's new.
Giants by 30. They're at Monica Oval. 12 gone second term. The umpire heaves it back in. The rucks are Sherry and Cadman. Sherry gets to it easily there. Davies Uniac wrapped up there in the two-man tackle. Tom Green, Steve Cornelio. And again, the umpire will chuck it in the air. 30 points that game, Holly, for the Giants.
Cadman doing the ruck work. Here's Dylan Stevens to Parker, who's been really busy. Had Sheasel in support. They're at half-back the Roos. They work it back to McKercher. He did well to find some space when there wasn't much. He kicks up to the wing. Taylor's there. Went for the mark instead of the spoil. The Giants defender couldn't quite take the grab. Darling doing the hard work and then burrowing away. It's tackled by Iden and taken over the boundary line. And they're going at it. It is Joe Fonte in a wrestle.
Cooper Harvey, I think.
Cooper Harvey. It's a two number. Well, it's a 37 for the Roos. And yeah, the two number 37s it is. I thought it might have been. I don't see that from Joe Fonte much either. It seems like a very clean operator. They got really angry, Harvey and Fonte. And now the Giants gather it again through Callaghan. Handball over the top to Bedford. Speeding away from Dylan Stevens. Looking for Stringer in attack. Went over his head. Logue there, mops up for North. Spins away from Brown, but he's caught and taken over the boundary line. Almost holding the ball. The boundary line was his saviour. Giants lead by 30 points. We'll have a throw in left forward pocket for GWS.
I thought Cal Brown might have got another shot on goal. He was lucky. Logue that the boundary line was so close.
What's his career best? 5 or 6? He wouldn't have had a hole bigger than
kicked a couple of 5.
Yeah, I think he's gone beyond 5. And it comes uncontested with Riccardi in the ruck for the Giants. And out the drop, Cornelio has it wrapped up in there.
He's going to have a bigger day out. He should have held off on the contract.
Giants by 30 points here. Riccardi palms it down there. Miss Cornelio. Callaghan onto it now. Fires it wide here. It was too wide for Whitfield. Gathered now by Bedford. Free kick though for a hold. And it will go the way of North Melbourne. It's going to go the way of Callaghan, is it? It's a Giants free kick at half forward. So Finn Callaghan over set shot from 47 metres out there directly in front. Adam Shirley on the boundary.
Yeah, give George Wardlaw his due. He's obviously sore, but he's gone back on field on ball to see if he can get that ankle moving again.
Yeah, so he's had all kinds of treatment in that second term so far.
5 is Callan Brown's best. Round 1 of last year against Collingwood.
That's in danger. Meanwhile, here's Finn Callaghan to extend that lead beyond 5 goals. Kicks from 50 at left foot, wobbles back in the breeze and sneaks through. The Giants are out by 36 points, 8-3-51. North Melbourne at 2-3-15. They haven't scored in this second term so far, which is now 15 minutes old on ABC Sport this Sunday afternoon. Your expert, Jason Saddington.
Yeah, it's certainly one way at the moment. The Giants just getting numbers around the contest. Once they win it, they're working hard to go quick with their forward handball. Players are on the move and they're getting through. Callaghan's one of those players. He's probably quiet in the first quarter, but he's starting to work his way into it now. I think he's up to the...
Well, I'm just looking at the inside 50, sorry. So it's 6-4, the inside 50s in this. So it's not like it's been all one way in terms of...
It feels like it's 12-3.
Doesn't it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think it's just the efficiency the Giants having. Every time they're going forward, they're able to get a shot on goal.
Callaghan, 10 touches.
Yeah, 10. Yep.
Giants lead by 36 points. Halfway through the second term, they're responding in a big way after that shellacking by the Bulldogs last week as they win it in the middle again. Riccardi looping handball to Fonte, takes the bounce, tries to get rid of Teakle, got the handball free while he was tackled. Umpire says you're holding the ball. A little bit stiff there. He did get the handball away, but he took on a couple and was eventually caught. Joe Fonte. Well done by Teakle. As North goes short and find Parker on the wing. He's been really busy.
Yep, been great.
Inboard he goes to O'Sullivan. He's also trying really hard. Former number 2 draft pick. Finn O'Sullivan's kick into the forward pocket. Trembath leaps, brings it to ground. Constanti's there, try to tap it towards Teakle. Players fall on the footy. And we'll have a ball up deep in attack for North, who were 2-3-15. GWS 8-3-51. Trembath making a contest down there. He already has a goal on debut.
He was strong in that contest too, wasn't he? He had a few Giants tools around him, but he stood tall.
Riccardi wins it down over the back of Tickle. Tom Green slips a tackle. Now Riccardi hand pass wide to Harvey Thomas. The Giants in the left back pocket. Big kick from Little Man goes up to a 2-on-2 as it's spoiled out there over the line by Finn O'Sullivan. Should have marked it, really.
Could have.
And it's going to be a throw in here between wing and half forward in the North Melbourne attacking half. 36 points the Giants lead. 17 gone, second quarter. Brett Sprague, Daniel Garb, Jason Saddington, Adam Shirley with you here in Canberra. As the rucks go at it again, Riccardi follows up at ground level, shares it with Callahan. Off here to Angwin. Little Shepherd as well, or O'Hara on the way through. Goes inside 50, and this time Stringer waiting for it. Pink came very late in the contest. And it goes out of bounds for a throw-in deep at left full forward for the Giants.
It's just getting forward out of the stoppage at the moment. I don't know if North need to bring a winger around defensive side or even roll a forward up to get around the defensive side of a stoppage, because the Giants are just winning it and handballing forward, get their forward running game going. They need some coverage.
Well done, Toby Pink. Made a big contest there to stop Stringer from marking in the pocket. Riccardi wins it clean out of the ruck. Quick handball down to Darcy Jones. He couldn't quite gather it cleanly. O'Sullivan's kick doesn't clear the area. Bedford gathers it, snaps with the outside of the right, and kicks another one for the Giants. Bedford making North Melbourne pay. The Giants 9-3-57, North 2-3-15. And it was O'Sullivan who had his effort to clear the area affected by the O'Halloran tackle. It fell to Bedford, and he finished beautifully from the left forward pocket with the outside of the right.
Opportunistic there from Bedford. It was great from O'Halloran, the pressure to put the... Well, it wasn't really a tackle, was it? But it was enough to stop the kick going out from North, and Bedford just gathered. It was a great little snap. I think North were trying to claim it was touched, but obviously the umpires didn't want a bar of that. Lovely snap from Bedford. He's starting to work his game way into the game as well with this running game going for the Giants. He's been instrumental in that, getting the ball from wing to front half.
You know, Halloran's having a big game. 12 disposals, 4 score involvements, 3 inside 50s, a couple of tackles, and he ensured that the ball spilt to Bedford on that occasion.
He started hot and he stayed hot.
It's now blowing out to a 42-point lead the Giants' way. Restart back in the middle. Sherry tap down to Parker, off to Sheasel. Clearance goes away to the Kangaroos. It spirals towards half forward. Drop by Constanti. Out there, Angwin for the Giants, and Ash wrapped up by Scott. Loose ball gathered by Angwin again. Fires it low into Callahan. He can burst away for the Giants. Pops it towards half forward. Toby Green back with the flight. Keeps running. Goes to full forward. Stringer marks top of the square. And he'll go back and look for his third goal. From that chain off half back, the Giants just make it look so easy.
Once again, you're right, that chain off half back, and once they're getting it through the middle of the ground, their forwards are just streaming back towards goal, getting the Kangas defenders over the back.
This will be 22 goals in 8.5 games here for Jake Stringer. And there is goal number 3 this afternoon. And that margin balloons out to 48 points. The Kangaroos remain stuck on their quarter-time score of 2-3-15. The Giants having kicked 5 goals to none in, not yet the time-on period of this second quarter.
Well, what North need to do, they need to stiffen up the contest or get a forward up into it to try and stop the Giants just being able to run out of stoppage or contest. And they also need to probably get a player to swing back into defence. To almost anchor them, so the Giants, if their forwards are trying to stream out the back, at least there's someone there that's going to come forward for the Kangas or create a bit of a diversion that makes the ball carrier think about kicking the ball in over the back. They just need to stiffen up around the contest, but also in behind the Giants forwards.
The Giants up by 48 points. We've just entered time on in the second quarter here at Monaco Oval. Responding in a massive way after that embarrassing loss to the Bulldogs last week. North have won this clearance, though. They work it out to Tom Powell, and Darling has marked it. In attack in front of Lekalia. He'll kick from 30 out directly in front. The chance to just settle things down for North Melbourne. They need this badly.
They sure do. Won the clearance. Bit of a chaos kick that went inside, but Darling was smart enough to read it and cut across the front and take a nice chest mark on Lekalia.
Jake Stringer gets a round of applause from the Giants fans. 3 goals to his name. Jack Darling has 551 goals in his illustrious career. Make that 552 and the 20th of his season. His first in North Melbourne colours. And that's their first of this term. North, they are 3-3-21. GWS 10-3-63. So he's number 2 all time for goals and games at the West Coast Eagles. I think he's done the job they've asked him to do, which is just be a hard worker in attack, provide a foil for Nick Larkey. They need a young key forward to come in and help Larkey, but while they wait for that to happen, the recruitment seems to have paid off to an extent. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, you need some experience around these young players, and I mean, that's what they've obviously gone to do. Darling's, he's performed that. I'm sure his leadership out there and directing the forwards is very helpful, and he's also a target. And I mean, we've seen Luke Parker was another player that's brought in. He's probably been their best player so far today. He's doing a great job in the middle, and Caleb Daniel provides that leadership down back as well.
But every game for his new club this year, Jack Darling, from the restart, has McKercher got a shove in there on one of the Giants. The free kick going Bedford's way. Pops it inside forward 50, but back there Common intercepts on his chest in the right back pocket. The Giants have moved up 3 percentage points in this game so far, so their percentage is now better than both Brisbane's and Fremantle's, for what it's worth. It will be worth something as far as that logjam for teams trying to make up either the top 4 or the top 8. Logue to Daniel, now wide back to Comben. North away here off right half back.
Comben has a couple of bounces. Angwin approaches, so he looks for Tom Power with the handball, finds him. Dangerous kick by him into the corridor. Callahan read it well, picked it off, got it to Darcy Jones, and he put it out in front of Grzybski. It's marked just outside 50. He goes for the lead of Toby Green. It was a little too high for him, couldn't take the mark. Caleb Daniel recovers it for North. Quick handball to Pink. And now Davies Uniacke and Darling on a long lead. He's able to take the mark. Just on the wing for North Melbourne, fresh off kicking his first of the game a moment ago.
Big Jack Darling. Flares it wide, out to Stevens. Slow build up here for North Melbourne. Look, Davies Uniacke for his 12th disposal coming up, which is a kick back to Stevens. 60 from goal here for the Kangaroos. Spears it inside the arc, and it's marked there by Cooper Harvey in the left forward pocket.
Whilst they sort of had to go slow and it was kick mark, they didn't hold on to the ball too long there, North. They'd mark it, they'd take 1-2 seconds and they'd shift the ball with another kick mark, but it was still quick in terms of the way they'll get it again straight back out onto the foot, and I think that's what allowed them to still get the lead up. They weren't held up for too long and have to go long down the line, which was going to suit the Giants.
He kicked their first goal of the afternoon, Cooper Harvey. Here he is lining up for his second, and North Melbourne's fourth as we approach half-time. On the approach, Harvey, neat-looking set shot from 45. It's there. In his 8th career game, 2 goals for Cooper Harvey. That little form line continues, and it's back-to-back goals here for North Melbourne. The Giants lead is now 36 points. We've played 24 and a half minutes in the second quarter. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
Well, nice ship steady against the grain these last couple of goals for North, because it was looking pretty dangerous the way the Giants were hitting that scoreboard pretty quick and easy. So a big few minutes, and it's great that they've been able to steady it and get a couple of goals on the board. Just takes the sting out of the game on the Giants, holds the momentum, and at least gives North something to come back to. Realise that, all right, we can make inroads into this Giants scoreboard, work our way back into the game. We're not too far off it at halftime.
The Giants' lead is a clean 6 goals. 25 minutes gone in the second term. North with a couple in a row, though. And Sherry palms it down. Gathered nicely by Wardlaw. Handball out wide to Stevens. This is better by North Melbourne. Stevens kicks into attack. Well done by Himmelberg. Got out in front of the debutant in Trembath. Marks in the right back pocket.
He's been excellent, Himmelberg. His intercept work's been huge. Certainly the Giants' best defender, but the offence he gives them out of back half as well is fantastic.
He's reading the football well. Sends it up to the wing. Cadman with the leap. Brings it to ground. Tom Green's right there. Handball over the top to Briggs. Cornelio running next to Briggs. Gathers the football and spots up a target on the lead in Riccardi, who marks and plays on. And Stringer is all alone in the pocket. It's the right forward pocket. Has an option in Toby Green. He'll decide to go back and snap this. Looking for his 4th goal of this first half to match the 4 kicked by Callum Brown.
It's just a dual threats for the Giants when they go forward. Again, it was from getting a forward handball and plays out in space ahead of the footy from the contest.
On the right forward pocket, Stringer snaps on his left, but kicks it all the way across the face of goal and out of bounds. Oh, no, it snuck in for a behind. Looked like it might have been out of bounds on the full. So GWS's lead is now 37 points. Stringer on 3 goals. Callum Brown has 4 for the Giants.
The sign on the crowd that says winner, winner, Jakey Stringer. A winner for them at times this year, certainly. Caleb Daniel, a former Dog, probably had some great battles against the Giants in his time in the red, white and blue. Now finds Parker. Thumps it from right half back up to the members' side. Lecalier was under the football there, was shoved there by Teagle at the back. Ash for the Giants, shares it with Callahan. Little 1-2 give there. Tom Green brought down there by Cooper Harvey. Footy comes loose. Zerha bursts through a tackle as well. Room to bounce at right half forward. He pops it towards a vacant goal square. It's offline to the right hand side, and this one's out of bounds on the full. No change to our score. 10-4-64 plays North Melbourne 4-3-27. The Giants by 37 points here in Canberra. We've now played 27 minutes in this second term.
Himmelberg chips it across defensive 50 to Iden. Game number 114 for Connor Iden. Still without an AFL goal. Will that ever come?
Hopefully today.
The way the Giants are playing, you can't rule it out as Stringer leaps on the wing. The kick came from Fonte. Unrealistic attempt, says the umpire. Free kick to North Melbourne. Just behind the wing, in front of the Tom Green fan club and the fans sitting on the hill on a coldish day here in Canberra. Not as cold as Alistair Clarkson's last visit here in 2019 when it snowed.
I think we're going with warm, apparently by Canberra standards.
Canberra standards.
Yeah.
Here's Darcy Jones. He's turned it over and Dylan Stevens gathers it and has a bounce.
Stevens to Parker. A couple of former Swans combine here. Parker swings it back to the corridor now. On the bounce for Powell. Option here by hand. McKercher weaves past one. Breaks the tackle of Briggs. Goes inside 50 and the mark is taken by Trembath. And this time he's 40 out directly in front.
Well, they've done well, North. Just to win the footy, I reckon the Giants' pressure game's dropped off a little bit. North are able to step their way around, but their intent to go and win the footy has certainly lifted. This guy's looked great forward, either standing under it to standing tall, standing strong to create a contest here on the lead-up. Looks like a genuine forward.
He's had the one kick and the one hand pass. I said it was first kick, first goal. This could be second kick, second goal. Cooper Trembath on the approach here, crosses the 50. Let's fly with that right boot, but it misses to the right-hand side for a minor score. So 4-4-28 the Kangaroos. The Giants are 10-4-64. 28 and a half minutes played here in the second quarter. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Daniel Garb.
Whitfield down the corridor, short to Callahan, who's getting really busy. Possession number 15 coming up for the Giants' young gun. Gives it back to Whitfield. Out to the wing. Angwin's taken the mark. Been impressive since being given a chance in the second half of the season, Ryan Angwin. Good grab, goes short to Whitfield, not the 15. Davies Uniacke puts a tackle on, ball spills free. And Caleb Daniel and Angwin tap it over the boundary line for a throw-in. And Whitfield and Angwin turn to the umpire and say, how wasn't that 15? Surely it was the distance.
I think they're trying to cover up their poor play.
And Giants 10-4-64. North 4-4-28 as we get close to half-time. Daniel Garb, Brett Sprigg, Jason Saddington with you. Sunday afternoon footy on ABC Sport.
Toss back in. Sherry was outbodied by Briggs, and now they keep bringing away here the Giants through Tom Green. Finds Toby Green here on the logo commentary side. Room to move now as he pops it to the corridor, leading up a little too deep. Was a kick for a Stringer. As a free kick. Advantage paid here for the Giants as Bedford plays on. And no, it's a minor score. So minor score there for
the advantage was played.
It was played, but they wasted it. Minor score for Toby Bedford. So it's going to be 10-5-65. Plays 4-4-28. We'll just hit the half-hour mark here as we approach half-time.
We sometimes see them call back as in that was an advantage and come back have the kick.
That was advantage though. Bedford just missed the chance. Caleb Daniel brings it back in as a bounce. Dersma flies. Can bring it down and we'll have a boundary throw in left half forward for the Giants. So Toby Green up to 10 disposals, 5 score involvements after missing last week through suspension. Would have wanted to make amends. He's been active, the Giants captain. His team leads by 37 points with half-time nearing. Sherry back into the team after suspension as well. Tapped it down to Sheasel. He was tackled by O'Halloran and caught holding the ball. Well, that was a hot call on Harry Sheasel. O'Halloran has it, 60 out, directs some traffic and goes long into attack. Cadman the target, offhand, Stringer, can he gather it before it goes over the boundary line? He does, handballs it over his shoulder. Big hit by Green on Constanti, it was fair. McKercher almost caught. got away from a tackle in a dangerous area, back to Comben, and now Luke Parker has it in the right back pocket.
Parker up to 16 disposals now for the Kangaroos, and it's off hands here as Fonte makes the contest on Geordie Payne for a throw-in. Approaching half-time, Manuka Oval usually close to packed, only holds sort of 13,000 or so, but it's a great atmosphere here for the Giants games they play here, 3 of them a year. They've lost their 2 previous starts against the Bulldogs and Port Adelaide here in the nation's capital. And the stoppage here, Tom Green gets around Sheasel, big fend on Harry Sheasel. Green finds Cornelio in some space at left half forward, goes inside 50 and finds Toby Green. And he marks 50 from goal on the 45-degree angle.
Well, whilst Tom did some dancing, again it was a forward handball out of the contest. North just have to cover it. They can't get sucked in and let the Giants players get forward of the contest, because they're going to do that all day of the week. Get players forward, handball forward, and then the running game gets going.
This will be the last thing before half-time as the seconds tick down. Toby Green back from suspension, of course, this week. The skipper, the 2-time fairest and best winner, 3-time All-Australian, with a slight breeze behind him on a slight angle. Starts out to the right, comes back. It actually wobbles back over the behind line for a minor score. And the Giants, who have had the better of things in this second term, that's now what, 5 goals 6 for this quarter of football. They're 10-6-66, North Melbourne 4-4-28 in these final seconds before half-time.
Caleb Daniel will bring it back in, but the siren will sound for the main break here at Manuka. With the Giants leading by 38 points, they suffered their heaviest loss since the 2019 grand final last week against the Bulldogs. Questions asked of them during the week, and rightly so, but they have shown what they are all about so far. 38 points up, 10-6-66. North Melbourne 4-4-28 over the Kangaroos at the half in the capital.
Led at one stage by 48 points. They kicked the first 5 goals, well, only 5 goals of that second term at one stage, and then, of course, North Melbourne with back-to-back majors through Jack Darling and Cooper Harvey. So 38 points is that buffer, as Daniel Garb mentioned. 4 goals to Callum Brown so far for the Giants, 3 for Jake Stringer, singles to Bedford, Cadman and Finn Callahan also join the list of goal kickers in that second term. Cooper Harvey has 2 for this for North Melbourne, and 1 each to Darling and to Trembath. So they extend their lead from 15 points at quarter time to 38 at half time. There were glimpses there from Clarkson's men with those back-to-back goals at the time-on period there in the second term. But Jason Saddington, how do you assess things through the opening half here in Canberra?
Well, early on in that second quarter, it looked like the Giants' instruction was to go a bit quicker and take the game on a bit more, and they were able to do that certainly with their forward handball. They were getting some tsunami run going, but from around the contest or even clearance from stoppage, they were getting forward handballs, and they had players out the front, which allowed them then to start that chain and the tsunami handball. And once they got through the North layer of contest, their forwards were just able to either hit up at the footy or stream back towards goal, and they got some really clean, easy entries. We saw Cal Brown's cashed in with the 4 goals. Stringer's been very busy. He's had plenty of footy and has been a great target for him up forward, as has who's our other forward up there for the Giants? It's kicked goals.
Brown, Stringer and Cadman.
Cadman, that's the one. So it was pretty comfortable, easy work for the Giants through the quarter. Apart from North having that little period where they were able to kick 2 goals back, they really struggled to contain the Giants' run. What they need to be able to do is stop that forward handball. So get a number up at the stoppage, stop them coming out the front, but also try and find an anchor in defence or someone that can slip in behind so the Giants' forwards can't keep streaming back towards goal, because every time they come through and get their handball run game going, it's pretty easy work for them up forward.
And the troubles compounded for North Melbourne in that first half with Riley Hardiman subbed out due to concussion or a head knock, so he was subbed out at quarter time effectively. It was quite early in the game, but they waited until, of course, the assessment had taken place, and then, of course, George Wardlaw hampered by an ankle complaint. He's still playing for now.
They've got to be thinking about percentage now, the Giants.
They do.
So their percentage is 113.5 as it stands on the live ladder. That's just ahead of Fremantle and Brisbane, who play each other next week. Gold Coast and Hawthorn are a fair bit above in terms of percentage. They may be hard to catch, but who knows how this is all going to fall in a fortnight's time. But there could be it's very likely there'll be a situation where teams will be level on points, and maybe Freo or Brisbane will drop back, and they've got the chance. Freo have got 2 tough games. Brizzy aren't in form, and they can jump above a side on percentage. They've got to be discussing that right now, surely.
Well, I mean, I think when you're coming into finals as well, the one thing you want your team to be is pretty ruthless and consistent in their games of footy, and this has always been a criticism of the Giants, hasn't it? And certainly through this year is they play a great quarter or a great half, and then they have a poor quarter, poor half. And when you're going to go into finals footy, you can't play like that. So a game like today is really important as well for the percentage, like you say. So I'm sure they'll be talking about ruthless standards, maintaining the rage, being really strong and disciplined defensively through the middle, win the contest. Let's keep getting the ball forward. Let's absolutely hurt them. Let's not drop off in any of our standards, because you can get comfortable in a game of footy, but with so much on the line around percentage, they 1,000% have to keep putting the foot down and climb their way up on that percentage ladder, because it really is going to become important when we get to the end of the season. It could be the difference between making the finals or not, top 4 or not, or even home final or not, and that's critical when it gets to the end of it.
0437 774 774 is the SMS number. By the way, if you want to hear the pre-game build-up of the Bulldogs and Melbourne at the MCG, that is underway there. The game starts in about 15 minutes from now. You can hear the full coverage on the ABC Listen app. Just look for the main ABC AFL button. And, of course, that runs into the West Coast and Adelaide later on. Of course, listening through WA now. If you are, you'll be hearing the Eagles and the Crows later on to close round 22. Hi, guys. Off the SMS. Colin from Gamelling. With the season and the teams being so close and finals teams so close, what will happen if the unthinkable happens in the grand final and both teams end in a draw at the end of regular time? Well, regular time means they go to extra time, and then beyond that, they essentially keep playing until there's sort of a golden point. I thought he meant extra time, but yeah, regular time. There's no more replay. We have the extra time now. It only came in 15 years ago after the last draw, and then I believe they keep playing until they have a winner at the end of the game. Yeah.
Play extra time again if you
extra time. But there's no actual golden point scenario, is there? Or is that no? It's only they keep playing extra time.
Yeah. So would it be extra time, 2 halves extra time, and at the end of the second half of extra time, when the siren's due to go, if it's still a draw, they'll keep playing till the next score.
Right. Here we go.
The siren will go.
So, in the event of a drawn game, the teams will play 2 extra time periods in full, each lasting 3 minutes plus time on, with a change of ends, of course. If still tied, further extra time periods will be played in the same manner until a winner is determined. So, they just keep playing until they get a winner. But don't think
like the old basketball overtime.
Wouldn't mind a close. We've had some good grand finals, but also some pretty bad ones interspersed there as far as contested spectacles. Here, 38 points is the Giants' lead at half-time at Manuka Oval in Canberra. You're with Brett Sprigg alongside Daniel Garb, Jason Saddington, Adam Shirley. We'll see what can happen in the second half here. As mentioned, you can find a full call of the Melbourne Western Bulldogs game on the ABC Listen app, and you can text us as always 0437 774 774. But right now, it's time for us to head to the ABC newsroom.
ABC News with Sarah Amir. Health authorities in Gaza say another 11 people have starved to death as a result of Israel's aid blockade, bringing the total number of deaths caused by malnutrition to 212. Gaza's health ministry says the Israeli military has also killed at least 38 Palestinians and injured close to 500 in the past 24 hours. Reports are also emerging that displaced Palestinians living in Gaza City have been told to evacuate the region by the 7th of October, after Israel announced it will launch a full-scale occupation there. This displaced mother says a heatwave is further exacerbating conditions.
Our situation is very bad. The children suffer from skin ulcers and allergy due to the heatwave. I'm suffering from sinusitis and high blood pressure that makes it hard during the heat.
Meanwhile, tens of thousands of Israelis have taken to the streets to protest against their government's plans to expand its war on Gaza. The families of hostages held by Hamas say occupying Gaza City will put their family members' lives at risk. The largest demonstration took place in Tel Aviv, where some speakers urged IDF soldiers to refuse orders to seize control of the city. Staying overseas, and police in London have arrested more than 466 people who were protesting in support of a pro-Palestinian group. Last month, British lawmakers prescribed the Palestine Action Group a terrorist organisation after some of its members broke into the Royal Air Force Base and sprayed red paint on planes. The group accuses Britain's government of being complicit in what it says are Israeli war crimes in Gaza. The UK and Israel deny this. These protesters say the ban goes against democracy.
If they ban Palestine Action, next it's going to be what other group is next, until we're just no longer allowed to protest anything. And that's the opposite of democracy.
I don't think anyone ever wants to get arrested, but I'm more concerned with what's happening to the people of Palestine right now, and I refuse to be a bystander.
An analyst says US President Donald Trump has more to lose than his Russian counterpart from their upcoming meeting in Alaska. Vladimir Putin is set to travel to the US state for a face-to-face meeting with President Trump on Friday to discuss Moscow's ongoing war on Ukraine, but Kyiv has not been invited to the talks. Professor Sergei Radchenko from the Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies says picking Alaska as the location for the meeting was deliberate, as the land once belonged to Russia.
From Russia's perspective, they don't like the Europeans, and I think having a summit somewhere far away from Europe, excluding Europe, is a way for Putin to say, look, Europe doesn't matter. We have our own relationship with the United States. We're actually neighbors.
Back home, Tasmania's Premier Jeremy Rockliff says his government will phase out greyhound racing because it no longer meets community expectations. A state funding deal for greyhound racing is set to expire in 2029, giving participants nearly 4 years to transition out of the industry. The move comes amid Liberal Party negotiations with Tasmanian crossbenchers after the party failed to win a majority at the recent snap election. Mr. Rockliff says while he supports the broader industry, he has concerns when it comes to greyhound racing.
For many years now, and increasingly so, there's been concerns around animal welfare, and we're seeing an industry that is at the crossroads, in decline, and does not meet community expectations anymore.
In sport, Wallaroos forward Piper Duck says it was an emotional experience when she was named in the squad for the Rugby World Cup. The Wallaroos will fly out to the UK tomorrow and will be attempting to win the tournament for the first time. Duck says hearing her name in the squad was a spine-tingling moment.
I actually think I burst into tears straight away. If you watch the video, I did. No, it was one of those moments where I've been through a lot of injuries lately, and I think my first World Cup was obviously extremely important, but this one really meant something else to me.
And a woman has umpired a Major League Baseball game for the first time in the American League's 150-year history. Jen Powell says she's thankful for the chance to make history.
I'm just so grateful to my family, to Major League Baseball for just creating such an amazing work environment, to the umpires that I work with, who we have just amazing camaraderie, and we're having fun out there. We're working hard, but we're having fun.
You're up to date with the latest from ABC News.
Ben Cameron and Corbin Middlemash from ABC Sport here.
Alongside Paul Roos, Brett Delidio and Poppy Penny, we bring you all the latest AFL news from both on and off the field on the ABC AFL Daily podcast.
You can hear it all on the ABC Listen app.
Time to steady and pull the trigger!
Get ABC AFL Daily Podcast. It's your daily footy conversation. Find it on the ABC Listen app. This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
Looks for Ash, about the fifth handball in a row from Ash to Cornelio. Callaghan just chips it over the top and Callum Brown is marked. He'll play on, waltz through and kick another one for the Giants. Green to O'Halloran and now Cornelio. Clever kick, finds Callum Brown in the lead. The Irishman, 3 goals to his name already. No problem with the distance at all, and he snuck it through too. 4 goals for Callum Brown.
Meanwhile, here's Finn Callaghan to extend that lead beyond 5 goals. Kicks from 50 at left foot, wobbles back in the breeze and sneaks through.
Sullivan's kick doesn't clear the area. Bedford gathers it, snaps with the outside of the right, and kicks another one for the Giants. Bedford making North Melbourne pay.
On the approach, Harvey. Neat looking set shot from 45. It's there. In his 8th career game, 2 goals for Cooper Harvey.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Half-time at Canberra's Manuka Oval, where the Giants lead the Kangaroos by 38 points. And that second term, as you heard there in the highlights, did mostly belong to the home side, albeit back-to-back goals there through Jack Darling and Cooper Harvey. Pulling the margin back to 38 points at the major break. You're with Brett Sprigg alongside Daniel Garb, Jason Saddington, Adam Shirley here on the boundary as well. Your text welcome, 0437 774 774. Something I should remind you of as well is that next week the AFLW starts, so we'll call that for you the season opener at Princes Park on Thursday night, Carlton versus Collingwood, so a massive way to start the AFLW 10th season. There's games all over the country. Of course, here in Canberra, the Giants face Essendon. So the Bombers looking to build on their finals appearance last year. The Giants, just the one win in their most recent campaign, finishing third last in the end. But a massive game here at Manuka Oval in Canberra. That's 5:30 p.m. Next Saturday, or this coming Saturday. And looking forward to seeing how all that transpires. It's the first time those sides will meet in the AFLW, the Giants and the Bombers. You've got top draftees for both sides. Sarah Howley for the Giants, Grace Bologna and Taya Chambers for Essendon. Bonnie Toogood's always a fun play to watch as well. So that's happening here at Manuka. So AFL this week, AFLW next week there. Just while we're on things happening elsewhere as well, we will keep you across the Demons and Bulldogs starting at the MCG in about 8 minutes from now. And, of course, West Coast versus Adelaide with Clint Wildman and the team over in Perth to close round 22. But there is also the cricket after that, which you can hear on the ABC Listen app. Just look for the cricket button, the first of those T20s. 6 white ball games in total, Australia versus South Africa, and Corbin Middlemass and the team to bring you all of that starting later on this evening, depending on what time zone you're in. It'll be 7:15 Eastern time there, the first ball, and coverage beginning before that as well. We're saying it's the summer of cricket underway on the 10th of August. It's sort of a precursor, but it's a big summer coming up as well, of course, the Ashes and all of that to bring you as well. So cricket on your radio tonight as well.
Just thought I'd answer a question for some people, considering we were asked what happens in the result of a drawn grand final.
Yes.
You just keep playing extra time.
3 minutes extra time, yeah.
You have a winner. I imagine some people might have been thinking, well, hang on, it's going to be really close for top 8 spots this year. Percentage is really close for a number of teams as well. What happens as the Kangaroos run back out on the ground, trailing the Giants by 38 points at half-time to begin their warm-up for the second half? What happens if teams finish level on points and percentage at the end of the home and away season? It then goes down to a ladder between the two teams in question. So if you only played once, whoever won that game. If you played twice, what the results were. If points and percentage on that ladder between the two sides is dead level as well, as in you played twice, 1 win each, and the scores are exactly the same, so percentage is even, or you played once and had a draw, it is then picked out of a hat.
Picked out of a hat?
Yeah. If after all that they are still level, which is incredibly unlikely, of course, but you'd be drawn out of a hat. We've never had that scenario. Not sure we ever will. But
last year, I think there were a couple of teams who were talking about it, but it would be it wouldn't happen.
I would have thought you could go another layer of who's kicked the most points across the season or something. You know, like you get...
Points for.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, it's probably not going to happen.
Actually, to be fair, and Rick points out, the percentage thing with the Giants... Fremantle and Brisbane have a draw, so they'll uneven points, I suppose. So they won't quite be in the same mix anyway, as they had a draw with North Melbourne. There was nearly a draw last night, though. So to that point, Rick, if Port and Freo drew last night, which very nearly happened, could have been a factor as well. But it won't be so much of an issue for Brisbane, that percentage with the Giants and Freo close by. Great start, great end of the year, though. I mean, I know we talk about the idea of wild cards and all the rest of it, and whether you need another layer of excitement, but we now have, after some dud games, some big games the next few weeks to decide that last place in the
huge ones, isn't there?
Yeah.
Some big
clashes. And the top 4 that open as well.
No, absolutely. That's why I'm pumped for this afternoon's game, Dogs Demons, because the Dogs have to win. and they expected to win, but the Demons coming off a coach sacking normally generates a result, doesn't it, for the team that's lost their coach? Often have this spike in form the following week. I mean, Melbourne do play well, MCG, during the day. It's a really big game of football.
How many games did you play, if any, off a mid-season sacking of the coach?
2.
Who were they?
Yeah, Rocket, Rodney Eade got the sack and Roosie took over. I'm pretty sure we won next week. Carlton, Dennis Pagan got the sack and Brett Ratton took over. I don't think we won because we weren't great, but we put in a really, really strong performance and had a strong end to the year without winning under Ratton.
So it's a 40% win rate for teams playing after a coach is sacked, which is actually pretty high,
good,
considering you're only sacking a coach when you're struggling.
That's right.
That's pretty good.
Most coaches wouldn't get the scissor if they were 40% win rate to start with. So, that's an improvement. Someone here has sent a text. Will Freo get a home game if they finish in the top 4? Yes, if the ladder stays as is, you do get a home final at some stage. So if it was to stay as is, Adelaide plays Freo, for example, just for the sake of the exercise. Freo is away in week 1. And then, well, if they win that, they get a home prelim. If they lose that, it's a home semi-final in week 2. So these are the questions we have to ask this time of the year because everyone's thinking about... I see that Adelaide have exhausted...
So many scenarios.
Adelaide's exhausted their grand final standby allocation because, of course, the members have to make their nomination and pay the extra fee for a guaranteed grand final ticket. Adelaide's already burnt theirs. So it's all part of the hype, but in a town like that as well, I love it. I love it. We're throughout WA and SA today for this game here at Manuka Oval, and we'll keep you across Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs at the MCG getting underway very shortly. North Melbourne closed the gap a little bit, Jason Saddington, in that second term. Can they keep it going?
Well, they need to force the Giants to kick the ball a bit more around that contest and stoppage. They need to stop the handball game. So I'd like to see them around the contest just perhaps drop a little bit and force the Giants to kick the ball because that gives their defenders then a chance to perhaps intercept. And that's when they look better when Griffin Logue was able to get off. But once the Giants got the running game going, that's the bit they've got to stop North. And then, if they can get on turnover, try and go a bit quicker.
Sunday footy on ABC Sport at a beautiful Manuka Oval in Canberra. Here is Daniel Garb.
Giants lead by 38 points. They led by as much as 48 in that second term. Sherry and Briggs resume proceedings. Clean tap by Sherry. Down to Davies Uniacke. Has McKercher running off halfback. Gives it to him. Long kick into attack. Iden's there. Falls the way of Trembath. The Deputon has another one. He's got 2 in his first game of AFL football. It just spilled his way at the top of the goal square. The quick collect and the kick. And Nanny's up in her seats once more, giving hugs to everyone in the family.
We're going to need another box of tissues.
Well done, youngster. He's having quite the debut.
Oh, and it was brilliant from North. The dash off half back. I really like North when they're open play, live ball. And it came off a clearance going the wrong way out of the centre, but the dash off half back to get the handball receive and send it in deep. Just give a contest up forward and anything's possible. The Giants defenders can be a little bit jumpy, I reckon, when the ball's on the ground. But if they've got time to just intercept in the air, they're hard to beat. But get that ball in, chaos ball, move the ball off the Giants, force them to chase a little bit.
They've kicked 3 straight goals on the side of half-time here in North Melbourne. Clearance goes away to the Giants, so at the restart, Finn Callahan pops a high one towards half-forward. Out there, Powell brought to ground by Angwin, and the umpire will ball it up at right half-forward for the Giants.
Be happy with that debut, wouldn't you? 2 shots on goal. I've liked Trembath.
Up it goes. The stoppage, Briggs down to O'Halloran, who's pinned in there by Sheasel. And again, the umpire says, give it to me.
On the mid-season rookie draft, Cooper Trembath, he's made a contest just about every time the ball's gone down there. He's got a couple of goals for his efforts too. Green to Callahan, the Giants deep into attack. Well done by Comben at front position in front of Cadman, and took the mark. In the left back pocket.
Well, he hasn't been caught in an athletics contest, Common. He's pretty good to be able to read and intercept. It's just when he's getting done on a lead or they've got some quick ball coming in, he's struggled.
Another good contest by Trembath. Just punched that to ground on the wing, but the Giants win it. Angwin to Tom Green, chips it over the top. Almost falls the way of Cadman. It was a bit too hot for Grzewski. Here's Powell. Did well with some composure to find some space. His kick is dangerous, though. Into the corridor at centre half back, and McKercher is well tackled by Whitfield. We'll have a ball up in that area. Giants leading by 32 points, early stages of the third term.
Adam mentioned earlier how this is similar dimensions to the MCG. A couple of times the Giants have had their depth vision sort of tested there, Sato, when that entry. They've just gone a little bit too deep, haven't they?
Yep.
Tom Green tackled on the loose footy. Angwin was at the goals from 52. It wobbles toward the goal square here, and it's forced through by Finn O'Sullivan, crashing the pack with a big spoil. So a minor score to Giants, 10-7-67. North Melbourne at 5-4-34. 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
McKercher will bring it back in for North. He just raises the hands to say, give me an option. Someone move. Left to play it safe and just run it out. Kick up to half back. It bounces in front of Davies Uniacke, and now it's turned over. This is dangerous. Callaghan to Toby Green. The banana straight through the middle. The skipper loves those opportunities. Toby Green has his first of the game. The Giants back out to a 39-point lead, and there were danger signs when McKercher just raised his hands to say, give me an option. And in the end, it was a dangerous kick to Davies Uniacke, and the turnover occurred.
Yeah, it was an ugly kick, wasn't it? Just helicoptered down, and the Giants, Callaghan was able to come forward and pick it up. And then once he got the handball forward to Toby Green, he just an easy finish for him, even though it was a check side kick. No one in front of him, no pressure. But, yeah, the ball use just let him down there, the Kangas. McKercher should have been better, should have hit the target.
Margin 39 points the way of the Giants. Here at an increasingly sunny Monica Oval in Canberra. The light towers are on. It's still only mid-afternoon here. And from the restart, Briggs and Sherry in the ruck, but it was a wonky bounce, which we'll recall. So at least they sort of pull back some of that Giants momentum here. North momentum, the Giants, with that goal through their skipper. Out of the ruck, snatched by Sherry, which means a free kick going the way of Tom Green, who tackled him. So short kick now to find Briggs, the big man. Options inside forward 50. He does go long towards full forward. Up in front, Cadman clunks it. 15 out directly in front.
He's really worked hard on that forward craft, Cadman. The ability to step back in behind his defender and then come around back to the front to actually launch up at the footy. Once he gets front spot and he can run and launch at the ball, you cannot defend Aaron Cadman. He's got that long reach, the high leap, and they just stick in the jukes. But his forward craft's really coming along. That's what allows him to get that front spot.
Cadman, who kicked a couple of goals against the Dogs 10 days ago. Here he is in that left foot, just neatly steers it through. And the Giants have back-to-back goals here. 12-7-79, plays 5-4-34. Margin back out to 45 points early in this third term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
And that's one thing for a defender or anyone that's listening, for you young footballer. As a defender, you need to be able to find a way to stop your opponent running and jumping at the ball. And that's if you can get some body on and check his run well before, you make the contact well before he wants to make the contact, or step in behind you to come back around to the front. It's really important as a key defender. You've got to find some body and stop their run.
Aaron Cadman comes to the bench. Gentle applause from the Giants fans here at Monica Oval. His second goal of the game, so his 40th of the season, Aaron Cadman, in what's been a breakout one for him. I mean, he showed lots of good signs towards the end of last year, but he's been consistent in 2025, and proving why he was taken with the number one pick in the draft a few years ago.
He's chasing Hogan down, is he? He's far off now.
Only 3 off him, so Giants leading goal kicker award, which seemed sewn up by Jesse Hogan a couple of months ago. Well and truly up for grabs with the Coleman medalist out injured. Here's O'Halloran having an excellent game. Emerges from the middle of the ground, kicks into attack. Well done, Comben. Got in front of Riccardi. You said you had to kick it deeper to Xavier O'Halloran, but
50.
Comben just won front position, and now there's 50 against the Giants. We'll go back to Comben. GWS up by 45 points. Comben is marched to the middle of Monica Oval. Assesses his options, gives it to McKercher, who's running shotgun. He's kicking to attack. Is affected by Himmelberg, made a good contest, spills the way of Ash, and is nicely tackled by Bryn Teakle. Just the 8 disposals for Lockie Ash. That would be close to his lowest for the season. He's in the top 10 for disposals per game across the competition. So the Roos are keeping him quiet at least.
Margin 45 points the Giants' way here. Stoppage inside 50 for North Melbourne. Cleared away here by the Giants. Hacked out of the air now by Harvey Thomas. Just keeps it moving. But there to it first is Common. Sends it back towards half forward. And Zerha, is he paid the mark? No, it's out of bounds on the full from that clearing kick from Combin in front of the scoreboard. The old Jack Fingleton scoreboard here at Manuka Oval. This was transplanted from the MCG many years ago. They flare it across the back line here. Fonte beyond defensive 50, and it's marked by Sam Taylor. He's been quiet, albeit against an opponent that hasn't had too many forays forward. And now it's come wide to Tubby Bedford, front of the benches. Plays on quickly to Bedford towards a 3-on-2. Riccardi up in the contest, but Logue knocks it out of bounds for a throw-in at right half forward for the Giants, who lead 12-7-79 to 5-4-34. 8.5 played third term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport for Manuka Oval.
Giants up by 45. Their game high lead is 48. Here's Parker. He's done everything he can for North Melbourne. Soccers it away from that stoppage. Iden has front position though on the wing. Well done by Wardlaw. Won the hard ball. Got the handball away. Zerha well tackled by Cornelio though. The Kangaroos stopped in their tracks. We'll have a ball up on the wing. Giants up by 45. Sunday afternoon footy on ABC Sport from the nation's capital.
Up it goes. On that commentary wing, Briggs down to O'Halloran. He explodes away here from Wardlaw. He's run down though eventually. Footy just comes loose, so it wasn't quite an ordered tackle. Picked up here by North Melbourne. McKercher off back to Wardlaw from the centre circles. Pops it towards half forward. Darling, a couple of Giants there close with each other. It was Alir and Thomas. As the footy comes loose again, back to Powell. Flares it wide to Scott, who marked 65 from goal here for North Melbourne on that scoreboard side of the ground.
Loving seeing more of that run from McKercher off halfback.
Scott on the entry. Darling makes a contest there with Fonte, but it's through hands and over for a throw-in deep at right full forward for North Melbourne. At the pool end of Manuka, as mentioned, the Giants lead by 45 points here. 10 gone, third term. Here on ABC Sport.
North with a chance though to conjure up something in attack. Boundary thrown for them inside 50. Sherry straight down to Parker. He's caught though by Briggs. Briggs says they should have been holding the football. Players fall on the Sharon. We'll have a ball up in attack for the Kangaroos, who are 5-4-34. GWS 12-7-79. Umpire throws it up quickly. Sherry plucks it out of the air cleanly. A couple of bodies fall on him, and we'll have another ball up right next to the last one.
Better in the contest here too, North, to start the quarter. They're either winning the footy from the stoppage or they're at least creating a secondary.
Tristan Sherry got a poke in the eye or something here. He's just getting up a bit slowly. He contests the ruck here against Briggs. Cornelio never runs the football here. It's picked up by Parker, who snaps closer to home. Darling collides with the pack there. Taylor in there as well hard. Footy comes loose. Leah, he slides in from the side. Taylor dispossessed there in the tackle of Geordie Payne, and it'll come back here for a Giants free kick, is it? It's coming Taylor's way, who was dealt off the ball. So plays on by hand to Himmelberg. Couple of bounces for the 198 gamer, and Tom Green marks at left half back.
Right in front of his fan club tent. Looks for Harvey Thomas, spills free from him. Halloran got it to Stringer, who left it behind, and then McKercher did the exact same for North. So Thomas put a tackle on him. It spills to Toby Green, gets it to Cornelio. The kick inside 50 for North. Cadman will leap and take the grab. A couple of players left it behind. That meant it was an open 50 for Cadman to lead into. And once more, his leap comes to the fore, Jason Saddington, for an excellent grab.
Yeah, you just can't sound like a record here. You cannot let Aaron Cadman get a running leap at the footy. You're no chance of being able to get a spoil in. There's some sloppy play, both teams. I mean, the Giants had a couple opportunities to get it in quicker and just fumbled the footy. North, I think it was McKercher, had the same opportunity to win the ball and stop the run, but he also coughed it up.
Aaron Cadman for his third of the game. Yeah, just guided it through. Made the goal umpire work. But he takes the Giants lead out to a game-high 51 points. Callum Brown has 4, Stringer 3, and Cadman has now joined him with 3 majors.
It's really obvious that Kangas defenders, Coleman, Dersma, they really struggle with space. When their forwards are able to have some space to run and jump and lead, they work really well from a slow play. They're able to intercept or spoil the ball, but when it's fast play, they just struggle to be able to contain their forwards.
Around the grounds, underway at the G. Bulldogs 1-3-9. Melbourne are 1 behind early on there. Full call, of course, available via the ABC Listen app. Just look for the ABC AFL button. I'll take you across to West Coast and Adelaide to close round 22 there. Restart back in the middle here at Manuka Oval. Finn Callaghan reaching for the ball now. Wardlaw dispenses. Follows up again as Callaghan. Off into some space there for Whitfield. Angwin back to Himmelberg. Hurries his kick toward the members' side. Race on foot there as Daniel beats Bedford to it. And the boundary line beats them both. 51 points the way of GWS here midway through this third term. ABC Radio, News Radio and the ABC Listen app on this Sunday afternoon across ABC Sport.
The umpire from a long way away has found a whistle on the play here.
Adam, down to you.
Even Coniglio got George Wardlaw definitely high, at least the neck, as they were trying to just push each other in the chest. So it was actually pretty clear from the boundary line.
Good spot by Adam Shirley on the boundary. Free kick against Coniglio. Wardlaw, that's an average kick to say the least. Put it over the head of Zerha. And then Callaghan with a nice tackle was able to wrap things up. So they've just struggled all game, haven't they, Jason Sannington? Yep. With the ball up on the wing to get any sort of movement going off halfback.
Yeah, North do. And McKirch is the one that they need. He's the one, if they can get it in his hands, he's going to break the lines.
Up it goes. Riccardi down to O'Halloran for the Giants. Dispossessed by Scott. Scott follows up, but Angwin gets him. And he'll throw it up again in the middle of Manuka Oval.
Whereas the Giants themselves from stoppage, they've been able to win the ball and get those forward handballs through. Not so much this quarter, so North have done a good job to contain that.
Home side by 51. Coniglio and pinned in there by Powell. They play on here quickly, the Kangaroos through Sheasel. High ball inside 50. Taylor intercepts some of that high ball.
It's been mainly Himmelberg doing that today for the Giants, but Sammy Taylor is always going to come up with a couple
Taylor
of Taylor
draws the player. Some pressure there on Iden. Quick hands.
And run and carry.
They're a tackle here. Taylor's still going. Hoops it wide to Coniglio, and now Jones keeps running as well. McKircher chops it off, though, for the Kangaroos. Back to Daniel. From the bullseye they go as Parker off to Stevens. Chased by Jones. There's numbers out there in orange in defence as Harvey Thomas rebounds the ball off half back.
Good kick out in front of Cadman. He's a long way from home, but took a nice grab on the wing, went short to Toby Green, points the finger, directs traffic, stops, starts, then goes short. His kick is marked by O'Halloran. 55 out, doesn't quite have the distance here, so wants the lead and gives it back to Toby Green. Well, the smarts of the Giants captain, he set that up, went back inside 50. He'll play on here. Umpire would tell him to go back, but he just doubled back on his leads, didn't he? And just worked harder than everyone else and has got the shot from 45 out, pretty much directly in front.
It was great patience from O'Halloran too to wait for Green to double back and come forward at the ball again. But Xavier O'Halloran's had a terrific game. He's just consistently won the footy. He's had a few clearances too and has used it pretty well. He's had a big game.
Yeah, 18 disposals for O'Halloran, 6 inside 50s, 4 tackles. He's threatened to be this kind of player.
Yep.
Always looked really tidy and dangerous around half forward, but opportunities have allowed him to go into the midfield this season due to injuries to others, and he's taken that chance as Toby Green with a set shot. Slots his second of the game. And the Giants' lead is now out to 57 points. It's becoming a shellacking here at Manuka Oval as it threatened to be from moments inside that first quarter, really. And Toby Green's starting to have a big impact too. 15 disposals, 9 score involvements and a couple of goals to the captain's name.
Well, it's like the key forwards flipped at half-time and said, well, Stringer and Brown said, well, we had our crack in the first half. This second half, how about you, Toby and Cadman? Get on the end of a heap, because they're the ones that are having the impact in this third quarter for the Giants. Cadman and Toby Green doing all the damage.
Now the MCG, the first term is midway gone there. The Bulldogs 1-4-10. Melbourne 2 behind so far. Massive game for the Dogs. And of course, much like the Giants, are fighting both to either, well, get a place in the 8 or keep their place in the 8, or potentially a place in the top 4. And this exciting conclusion to season 2025, the regular season. Down it comes here. Riccardi fed Callaghan. Quick clearance here for the Giants. Daniel takes on Toby Green. What a battle that is. It's been holding the ball. Green got him. And his tackle is rewarded. And he plays on quickly here, the Giants skipper. Plays on around Daniel. Eyes up the sticks from 52. It's offline. And Cadman leaps on the behind line, but it's through for a minor score. So 14-8-92 the Giants. North Melbourne 5-4-34. 18 gone, third quarter. Sunday footy here on ABC Sport.
So the Kangas can hold strong here. They had a pretty good first half to the quarter. Last 5 minutes, though, they're starting to slip off, and Giants are looking a bit more dangerous going forward.
Zane Dersma playing in defence now as he tries to build some confidence for North. Entrusted with kicking options, but it's coming straight back your way, Zane, because Sam Taylor's taken another big contested mark forward of the wing. Giants up by 58. The All-Australian defender. Giants club champion from a couple of years ago. The strong grab. Toby Green made a nice contest. Inside 50. Sheasel did the roving, though. Got it to O'Sullivan. Deep in defence. Well done, Finn O'Sullivan. Darted around a would-be tackle and found Zerha, who's been really quiet. He's been asked to be a target in attack for North. He's only got 5 disposals now to his name. Hasn't really given them too much, and he chips it wide to Sheasel at right half-back.
After Zerha kicked 2 goals, 3 against St Kilda last week. Sheasel's kicked down the line, and he does find Cooper Harvey. Swings it back inboard now for Wardlaw. Had the ankle trouble in that first half. Looks okay now, though. Looks at the options up ahead here. Gets around Cornelio. Goes inside 50 and finds the marking target, Geordie Payne. So we've seen Cooper Trembath have a couple of moments in this game on debut. Now it's Geordie Payne's turn. He's 35 out on an angle slightly right of centre.
The Giants just dropped off in their pressure through that little bit of play, even on the mark. Wardlaw was able to just step around and get a nice, easy inside 50 kick.
The number 1 pick in the mid-season draft last year, Geordie Payne. From North Launceston to North Melbourne. Here he is in Canberra. Lines up his kick, and there is that first goal. He pumps the fist. That does spark the Kangaroos a little bit. They come from everywhere to get around Geordie Payne, albeit all it does is cut the margin back to 52 points. The Giants are 14-8-92. North Melbourne 6-4-40. As we approach time on here in the third term, a first goal on AFL footy for Geordie Payne.
A lovely moment. It's always nice to see, isn't it? Players kicking their first goal in AFL football, especially in their debut game. We saw it earlier with Trembath and Nan in the crowd with the tissues in tears. We haven't seen any.
Where's Geordie Payne's Nan? What's going on? What's he got here? Has he got other family here, or what's going on?
Oh, they might be busy with a Guy Ritchie movie or something like that. Is that what you said before? Geordie Payne
sounds like a Guy Ritchie character.
Yeah. But well done, great, fantastic. It was a good lead up.
They're on the couch. There we are.
They're at home.
They're at home. He's a Tassie boy. Maybe they're in Tasmania. And they're on the couch. And they are delighted. There's still some tears there back home. He kicked 6 in the VFL last week. Had to work hard for his chance. And on another dark day for North, at least they've had a silver lining. The 2 debutants are on the board. Trembath with 2, Geordie Payne with 1. And they want another clearance. Davies Uniacke to Stevens. And Darling's taken the mark. So a chance for 2 in a row for North Melbourne. Darling will kick from just inside 50 probably on a 45-degree angle to the right, searching for his second of the game.
It'd be colder in Launceston today than Canberra, you'd think.
Yeah, you'd think so. Yep.
So big Jack Darling, the West Coast Eagles champion, premiership player, asked to come to North and provide some leadership and body strength in the forward line. He's done that for most of the year. From just inside 50, he strikes it and slots his second of the afternoon. Well done, Jack Darling. He's worked really hard opposed to Lekalea, and he brings the margin back to 46 points in favour of the Giants.
Well, it's kind of like the second quarter, isn't it? Where it looked like the Giants were just going to keep streaking away with the scoreboard, just kicking goals and goals, and then North just bounced back with a couple of quick ones. That was good play again. Well, again, once they're out in space and they get some run and carry and a bit of dash off half back, they actually look pretty good, the Kangas.
This is why so many fans have been frustrated, and people in the AFL community have asked, why aren't they performing better? You see Davies Uniacke winning clearance so easily, and Sherry knocking it down, and Parker doing his work in there, and Wardlaw and Powell.
Why don't you get more of it?
How are they not able to be more competitive and win more football games when you have that sort of firepower in the middle? And they look pretty good on occasion, more than on occasion, on many an occasion this afternoon in that area. But
there have been little surges for North Melbourne in this game. And they're back-to-back goals again for Alistair Clarkson's men. 22 minutes gone, third term here at Manuka. And this clearance goes the way of North again, and Sheasel swings around that left peg inside towards 50 at least, dropped by Payne, gathered now by Callaghan of the Giants. Onto it now, Wardlaw, back to Parker, eyes up the goals himself from 40. There's 3 in a row for the Kangaroos. So again, this burst of scoring, this time Luke Parker gets on the board. And the margin back to 40 points here. 14-8-92. North Melbourne 8-4-52. Adam Shirley, some news from downstairs.
Jake Stringer has sat on the back of the bench, and it looks like Harry Oston, the sub, has got the shirt off and is coming on imminently.
Okay, so we assume tactical until we discover otherwise, Adam, but thank you for that. I mean, I don't know, he's kicked 3 goals, so...
Could be an injury. I mean, we know he is injury prone. The hamstring has been a problem for him. We hope that's not the case.
When I say tactical, I mean maybe just in a sense of managing a player who might need a
in terms of the game, I mean, they want to keep kicking goals, and he's a goal kicker.
Yep. I'm sure Adam will find out for us. At the same time, they want to keep building confidence into Stringer.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting one. If it is an injury, I mean, it's a big blow considering Hogan's under a massive cloud as well. Meanwhile, North are getting back into this game. The scoreboard might still leave a lot of work for them to do, but they kicked the last 3 in a row. The Sheasel's now caught holding the ball. Toby Green, the captain, says, I need to just get things back on track for us, please. Gets it to Callaghan. Harvey Thomas. Green with the tackle on Sheasel. A couple of bounces for Thomas. Kicks deep into attack. Cadman flew. It falls the way of Angwin, and he responds for the Giants. Ryan Angwin with his first goal of the season. Cadman flew. It spilled to the back, and Angwin gathered and slotted it from 15 metres out directly in front. The Giants back out to a 46-point lead.
I think you mentioned it in the call, Garby. It's the one person that says, hang on a second, I've had enough of this. Toby Green. We're talking pre-game that Cal Ward was someone that could change a game with some acts and moments. Well, Toby's definitely a player that can do that, and it's like he thought that on that play. Enough of these North goals. I'm going to go in the middle and create a contest and get it going back our way again, and he did that, which allowed the ball to go forward for the Giants.
Breaks a run of 3 straight majors North Melbourne's way. A goal to Ryan Angwin, back to Adam Shirley on the boundary.
No ice, no strapping, and Jake Stringer speaking pretty animatedly to the bench, so it doesn't look as though it's an injury, Brett.
In fact, I can see here the Giants have just notified us it's tactical. Is there? So there you go.
That's a relief.
So, yes, yeah, I'm sure for them, certainly. 46 points is the way of that side, the Giants. Here's a clearance from Davies Uniac. Good dash out to the outer wing, and now he sends his kick inside 50. Tracked there by Geordie Payne. Back to Zerha. Comes inside Lockie Ash from the pocket. Zerha misses to the near side for a minor score. 8-5-53 North Melbourne. Trailing the Giants, who are 15-8-98. 26 gone. Third term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Round the grounds at the MCG. Approaching quarter time there. Bulldogs 2-5-17. Melbourne are 2-4-16.
At the moment, North look better at the Giants game in terms of run and gun and handball.
Whitfield brings it back in. Toby Green with a strong mark out in front of Caleb Daniel. He's been brilliant, the Giants captain, as is this man, Xavier O'Halloran. The Green finds. They go into the corridor now to Whitfield. And Callaghan got it to Ash. Gathered the football, looked for Himmelberg, but it's a little bit messy there from the Giants. North have won a free kick. Constanti won it. McKercher took the advantage and chipped it back to Luke Parker, who's kicked a goal in this third term. The 5-time Brett Kirk medalist doesn't half mind playing against the Giants. And he's been North's best this afternoon. As they now hit up Caleb Daniel, the veteran, in the middle of Manuka. Kicks North into attack, and Zerha's on the lead and taking a mark with plenty of space. Got some separation on Taylor. And will kick from about 40 metres on a 45-degree angle to the left as North continue to build some confidence in this third term.
Yeah, they do. They're just shifting the Giants around, either by foot or by hand. On that occasion, it was by foot, but they were moving it quick by foot. They probably had some opportunities to dish it off and move it a bit quicker, but it still wasn't slow.
This is Cam Zerha for the 200th goal of his career. And it's just fading to the right and hitting the post. So he's had 2 shots in a couple of minutes, Cam Zerha. One from the right forward pocket, that from a set shot. And his 200th AFL goal continues to evade him. Giants lead by 44 points. 27 minutes gone in the third quarter.
So Lockie Ash kicks out wide of the pocket to find Himmelberg. Speaking of milestones, one coming up for him in a couple of weeks. His 200th game. Has some history in Canberra. Came from Wagga Wagga via the capital. And he kicks the members' side through the hands of Toby Pink. Briggs keeps it alive here for Krajewski running by. Hand pass off to Jones. Out in space now in bright sunshine here in Canberra. Bedford gets there. Knocks it back there now to O'Halloran. Back to Bedford. Off the outside of the route, just screws a kick inside 50 and will arrive there for Thomas. Harvey Thomas takes a chest mark. 35 out directly in front.
It's a great example of just understanding your game style and players understanding where the ball might go without even knowing that a teammate might be there. But Briggs knew it was near the boundary. If I just hit this forward, someone's probably going to be running onto it. And even with the quick kick that went inside 50, you know that a winger, Harvey Thomas, is probably going to be placed out there. So Bedford threw it on the foot, and there was Harvey Thomas.
He turned 20 on Friday, Harvey Thomas. So a recent birthday. A left footer with his set shot here, and it comes back and through for a goal. So the Giants peg back some momentum here late in this third term. They're now 16-8, 104 to the Kangaroos, who are 8-6, 54. This is Sunday Footy on ABC Sport, and you are with former Swan and Blue Jason Saddington.
Good to see Harvey Thomas hit the scoreboard. He's found his way out of the team through this mid part of the season. He's been back in a couple of weeks. He's starting to find some footy out in the wing through this quarter too. So nice for him to get on the scoreboard, and certainly a player that does everything very, very well. Doesn't make many mistakes. Very consistent footballer. He'll be looking to cement his spot in this team, hopefully, for what's a finals campaign for him and the Giants.
Off the SMS, Cheryl Lee in Pascoe Vale South, listening on the app. Our Roo Boys on debut, showing the team what it's all about. Go Roo Boys. On you, Cheryl Lee. Certainly a bright spark or a bright light here for North Melbourne. In a game they do trail by 50 points.
2 goals for Cooper Trembath, 1 for Geordie Payne on debut. Late stages of the third term. Giants up by 50. Sherry gets it to Parker. Strong tackle on him by Rouston, the sub. On for Stringer, who's off having a rest. No injury concerns for him. Sheasel turns it over to Tom Green in the middle of the ground. Just shimmies away from a couple of would-be tacklers. Looks for Cadman. Almost spilled for Bedford. Logue got there first. Bedford brought him down and caught him holding the ball. Excellent work, Bedford. A little bit hot, the call on Logue, but he did try to take the tackle on. And Bedford, who's half his size, was able to wrestle him to the ground, and he'll have a shot from 30 out, almost straight in front.
It was a little bit hot, wasn't it? And Logue didn't have the footy for very long, but I think the tackle was that good from Bedford that it just ended up just dropping out out of Logue's hands as he was trying to kick it, and obviously it just had to be paid holding the ball in the end.
Been relieved of tagging duties over the last couple of months, Toby Bedford. Back to playing as a true half forward. He's got 1 goal to his name. That one is skewed off the side of the boot, through for a behind. Giants up by an equal game high lead of 51 points. So they're just doing away with the tagging role for him for now?
Yeah, I mean, he did it really well for quite a while, didn't he? But then the form probably dropped a little bit and they weren't getting the impact out of the midfield they needed. So readjustment. And he's been playing well as a half forward.
It's dropped there by Constanti at half back here for the Kangaroos. Onto it now, Tom Green. He kicks across the face of goal, through for a minus score again. So the margin was as big as 58 points in this third term. They kicked 3 goals in a row, the Kangaroos, after that point. So it didn't last very long. Short kick here, Daniel finds Stevens. And the Giants lead it by 52 here.
Dylan Stevens up to the wing. It's all Giants. Himmelberg just told Sam Taylor to go for it. They got a raffle at the two of them. And Taylor took a diving mark in front of the fans. Not far away from where he was knocked out on this ground not too long ago. So
last year.
Better memory on the wing for Sam Taylor.
He was quiet first half, Taylor, wasn't he? But he's had 3 intercept marks this third quarter.
He chipped it to Himmelberg. And now Ash, they've switched it to the outer side. Out in the lead is Rouston. Started as a sub. Former first round draft pick. Harry Rouston pumps it deep into attack. Grzyzewski's there. He brings it to ground. Cadman looks to gather the football. He puts a tackle on Stevens instead. And will have a ball up in the left forward pocket for the Giants.
An absolute goal fest this quarter, hasn't it? 6 goals to the Giants, 4 goals to the Kangas.
One down here by Sherry. Left behind by Ralston. Logue can clear here for North Melbourne. And it's left there for Sam Taylor again, who's finding his way into the game late.
4th intercept mark for
the Australian defender. Goes wide to Himmelberg. Down the corridor again. Darcy Jones. Kick was too hot for him. Constanti mops up in defence for the Kangaroos. Stevens gets a nudge from Jones. Hand pass off the deck from Cadman to Fonte. His kick out of bounds on the full. They just keep peppering away, throwing it forward. Big kick long forward, but out of bounds on the full this time for the Giants.
When they get it in, they look dangerous. They just keep getting it in.
Caleb Daniel will take the free kick. It's just slow going for North. There's been a lot of that today. They've struggled to get any sort of movement out of half-back. Done well through the middle of the ground, but when they've had to take it from their own defensive half, it's been...
This is where I'd love to see
laconic.
Yeah, when they kick mark and then get the handball, they need the runner.
Daniel went short to Parker. And they move it out to Toby Pink. His kick is out in front of Cooper Harvey. Gathers it just inside the boundary line and then goes backwards to Tom Powell on the wing. With some composure, he finds McKercher. Now they can look for Parker in the middle of the ground. Possession number 23 coming up. The former Swans champion. Luke Parker having an excellent game. He's kicking to attack. Favours Briggs. Couldn't quite take the mark for the Giants deep into offence. Taylor gathered it. Callaghan tries to squeeze it away from the area. They turn it over, though, the Giants to McKercher, who's tried really hard. Goes backwards to Wardlaw. A couple of the young guns combining. Back into attack they go. And Trembath has taken the grab. The debutant will have a shot at his third. Really strong pack grab from Cooper Trembath up against the likes of Himmelberg and Sam Taylor, and he emerged with the footy.
He just seems like a player that loves to mark the footy, and if it's in his vicinity, he's going to stand under it, or he's going to jump at it, or he's going to put his body on the line to try and mark that footy. And well, you kind of sit here watching and go, how come he wasn't picked up before the mid-season draft this year?
Mid-season rookie draft, in fact.
That's it. What was wrong with him late last year in the national draft?
It's as low down the draft pecking order as you can go, the mid-season rookie draft, but they found one, North. Cooper Trembath for his third goal on debut. Yes, sirree! And let's get another shot of Nan on the big screen, please, because we've seen her crying twice already after his first 2 goals. No doubt we'll see another shot soon. Giants are up by 46 points. But North fans will all be talking about Cooper Trembath's debut in Canberra, which has seen 3 goals slotted by him already, and we've got a bit of time left in the third term.
He's by far and away been their best forward, hasn't he? Best key forward player on debut. Now, Zerha's been quiet, we mentioned that, but Trembath, every time it goes through him, he gives a great contest. Not even just a contest, he marks the footy.
Down to Adam Shelley on the boundary.
Pretty brave effort from George Wardlaw, involved in that goal and that chain at least. Every contest he gets up from, he's clutching that ankle, but he still runs through the centre.
Around the grounds, quarter time at the MCG. Bulldogs lead Melbourne by 2 points. It's 3-6 plays, 3-4 there. And of course, you can hear full coverage via the ABC Listen app. Callaghan brought to ground here by Tristan Sherry. And we'll throw it up again. This quarter has now run 35 and a half minutes. So three-quarter time can't be too far away. Tom Green, there was stoppage. It's going to be a free kick going Briggs' way. Advantage paid here for the Giants. Wide here to Cornelio. Good one-hand grab here at right half forward. There's their time left here in this third term for one more goal. The Giants. No, there is not. So that is how it finishes up here for the time being. The Giants in control by 46 points. At one stage, they led by 58 points before North Melbourne kicked 3 in a row in that third term. And, of course, Cooper Trembath has the most for them. He's got 3. I'll keep giving you their goal kickers. Jack Darling and Cooper Harvey each with 2. Singles to Luke Parker and also Geordie Payne, who kicked his first AFL goal, also on debut in that third quarter as well. Meanwhile, for the Giants, 4 goals for Callum Brown. 3 each for Cadman and Stringer, who's been subbed tactically. Toby Green has 2. Singles to Harvey Thomas, Ryan Angwin, Toby Bedford and Finn Callaghan also here for the 8th place Giants. So we're up by 46 points at the final change on ABC Radio, News Radio and the ABC Listen app. This is Sunday Footy on ABC Sport.
ABC iView. Lose yourself in gripping entertainment.
Somebody here.
Like with The Family Next Door.
No, something.
Darby and Joan.
I'm going to find out who did this to you.
And Bay of Fires.
What the?
Always free, always gripping. ABC iView.
This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
Iden's there, falls the way of Trembath. The debutant has another one. He's got 2 in his first game of AFL football. It's a half-back. It bounces in front of Davies Uniacke, and now it's turned over. This is dangerous. Callaghan to Toby Green. The banana straight through the middle.
Cadman kicked a couple of goals against the Dogs 10 days ago. Here he is on that left foot, just neatly steers it through. And the Giants have back-to-back goals here.
Aaron Cadman for his 3rd of the game. Yeah, just guided it through. Made the goal umpire work. Toby Green with a set shot. Slots his 2nd of the game. And the Giants' lead is now out to 57 points.
Geordie Payne from North Launceston to North Melbourne. Lines up his kick. And there is that first goal. He pumps the fists. That does spark the Kangaroos a little bit. Payne gathered now by Callaghan of the Giants. Onto it now, Wardlaw back to Parker. Eyes up the goals himself from 40. There's 3 in a row for the Kangaroos. He turned 20 on Friday, Harvey Thomas. A left footer with his set shot here, and it comes back and through for a goal. So the Giants peg back some momentum here late in this 3rd term.
Cooper Trembath for his 3rd goal on debut. Yes, sirree!
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
A highlight for North Melbourne today. 3 goals for Cooper Trembath on debut, as you heard there. Alas, the Giants lead by 46 points in a key game for them here at Manuka Oval in Canberra. You're with Brett Sprigg alongside Daniel Garb. We'll, of course, bring you West Coast versus Adelaide to close the round very shortly. Coverage starts there in about 40 minutes' time. In the meantime, the final term still to play out here in the nation's capital, and to tell us all about how it's transpired so far is Jason Saddington.
We had a bit of a goal fest that quarter. 6 goals to the Giants, 5 to the Kangas, which is why it ran the 35.5 minutes. But I liked more of what North Melbourne did than what the Giants did, to be perfectly honest. The Kangas got a bit of life into their ball movement. And they looked dangerous when they did it. McKercher started to get some run off half back. He found plenty of footy through that quarter. Sheasel broke out of the middle a few times. Davis Uniacke. And once they got that free ball and the run and the carry and handball going, they're able to hit up some of their forwards. We saw Trembath, obviously, he's kicked the 3 goals now. He's been brilliant up forward for them. So I liked more of what the Kangas were doing that quarter. They were able to score through quite a few periods. They still struggled defensively, and that's where the Giants were able to capitalise with their 6 goals as well. They're able to score easily in bursts. Also, when they do get it into some one-on-ones, Cadman was able to just run and jump at the footy. When the ball was coming in quick and clean, it was just too easy for the Giants. So it was great for North to showcase a bit more of that open game. I'd love to see them just be a little bit stronger defensively in the back half and make it a little bit more difficult for those Giants forwards when it does come in. But if you're North, you're happy with the quarter. If you're the Giants, you're probably a little bit disappointed you didn't kick away a little bit more. But it'll be interesting to see what happens this quarter, because I know the Giants will want to put that scoreboard through the roof and really build on this percentage. And, of course, North, they just want to build that consistency into their game and just keep building into these youngsters, into their game style and get some growth. I think, Garby, you were talking about everyone wants to see a bit of a style out of North Melbourne and what is the way they play their footy. So I think they need to just keep that running game and get in live play a little bit more often. I'd love to see them, when they do kick the ball into the corridor or do have that chip out of half back, to get some runners coming through and dish it off like the Giants do with a Lockie Ash. They feed them, and I think it opens up the game pretty quick. I like that about North Melbourne.
Well, they've been strong in the middle of the ground. Parker, Davies Uniacke, Tristan Sherry does well, obviously. As a ruckman in there, he's a gun in that area in the competition, and then there's Powell and Wardlaw and others who can roll through. But outside of that, they just seem to be lacking the ability to move the ball quickly. Yep. And a team like the Giants obviously are so slick with it, and that they burn them the other way once they pinch it back, which has been the case for a large part of this game, which is why they lead by 46 points. Finn Callaghan's having another big game. 24 disposals, 7 score involvements for the Giants, 6 tackles and a goal. He's been brilliant all game. O'Halloran has 21. Tom Green now up to 20. And for North, Parker with 23 has been excellent. Sheasel has 21. McKercher has 20 disposals.
What about Tom and Toby? 11 score involvements each for the Green family. as we informally call them. Different spelling, but that's all right. They're all one family here at the Giants. 46 points the lead.
It's amazing. Like Callaghan and Tom Green just keep accumulating, don't they? They haven't been brilliantly outstanding, but they just keep accumulating and being involved in the game.
Now the MCG still 2 points away, the Bulldogs over the Demons there, and a wonky bounce to restart. If you like rugby league, South Sydney have just beaten the Gold Coast Titans for their first win in 10 starts, 20 points to 18 is the early rugby league result. Up in the air it goes here with Briggs and Sherry the Rucks. Both missed it. It was just a fresh air swing there from Briggs. Through traffic, Wardlaw danced like ballet, just pirouettes through that traffic, goes inside 50, and it's marked down there by Connor Iden, intercepting there for the Giants.
Iden called to play on. Doesn't have too many options, so he'll just kick long out to the wing. Callum Brown will fly for it. 4 goals in the first half. Callum Brown hasn't touched it much since. McKercher wanted back off him. Got it to Sheasel at half forward. He shovels it back to O'Sullivan and then to Caleb Daniel. Clever kick to find Sheasel. 51 out, and he pokes it into the pocket and hits up Dylan Stevens, who isn't on the right side for a left footer. He'll kick from about 45 out on a tight angle to the left.
Been able to find a way on the short kick inside 50. When they've gone long north or high to a contest, they struggle with Taylor and Iden and Himmelberg picking it off. But when they've gone short, lowered the eyes, they've been able to hit up.
Dylan Stevens, the former Swan, former top 5 pick from the 2019 draft, starting to build some momentum as a Kangaroo now. And that is an excellent kick from a tight angle for a left footer to slot that through for his first goal of the game. And North's 10th. They are 10-6-66. The Giants 16-10-106, but that's a brilliant conversion from Dylan Stevens.
You didn't give him any chance, Garvey. He said the wrong side for a lefty. No, it was a lovely finish. It was dead straight kick, lovely drop punt. I mean, he's a skillful player. It's why it's obviously first, number 3 pick. Wasn't he back in?
Pick 5.
5, sorry.
2019, yeah.
Yep. Highly skilled players. Just probably struggle to get that opportunity to play some consistent senior footy, and I mean, that's a lovely finish from him there.
The MCG, another goal for the Bulldogs. 4-6-30 plays Melbourne 3-5-23. Early stages, second quarter there. Full call, of course, on the ABC Listen app. Just look for the ABC AFL button. Of course, listeners hearing us right here through WA and SA, heading off to Perth Stadium for the Eagles and the Crows. Battle of the Birds next. Hand pass off the deck here from Briggs. Coming through, Davies Uniacke was dispossessed. Sherry tries again. Umpire lets it go here as North go forward of halfway. It was a bit deep down there for Geordie Payne. At the back, though, Jack Darling says, "Thank you very much." It's come off almost his knee, I reckon, in the air, but right onto the ball and popped it through Jack Darling for his 3rd goal of the afternoon. And North again have back-to-back majors. 11-6-72. Made the Giants, who are 16-10-106. 3 minutes gone here in this 4th term Sunday footy on ABC Sport. A very bright and sunny Monica Oval.
So, for those Giants doubters, I think this is why people probably have the doubts on the Giants and their ability to go deep into September, because they're just so inconsistent, aren't they? Like, we've seen patches in this game where North just look dominant over them, either through the middle or able to hit the scoreboard real quick. And I mean, that's happening again. They've just gone bang, bang.
34 points is the tightest margin since early stages 3rd term, just after half-time.
Yep.
So the shades of the Geelong-Essendon game, where Geelong won by 44, but assessed that game like
break
it was a
away.
loss.
Yeah, 100%.
And here's North again through Davies Uniacke. Has a bounce. Inside 50 once more. Over the head of Zerha. Clean balls Ash and Scott. Taylor has work to do deep in defence. Has Whitfield running next to him. He snaps it away from defensive 50 from the left back pocket. Wardlaw gathers it though. His kick is out of bounds on the full. Strong pressure applied by Finn Callaghan. Whitfield will take the free kick from the left back pocket. So Jack Darling with 3 goals. That's an equal season high for him. Up to 22 for the season. Kicked 3 against Melbourne about a month ago. 3 in his first game in Canberra, in game 318 of his career, as Toby Green takes a strong mark at half back. Switches it for Callaghan. Connor Iden shields his eyes from the sun, marks the football, has a bounce in defensive 50, now a second. Looks for Himmelberg. Took the mark in front of Scott. Back edge of the square. Iden's kept running. A couple of handballs to Lekalia. Now to right half forward. That's not a good kick. did not favour Darcy Jones at all, and McKerch has picked it off, and the Roos can go forward again.
They come a very short kick here. Sheasel swings it across, back to Cooper Harvey. A couple of goals this afternoon for the son of Boomer. And now Powell marks in the shadows of this Bradman stand here at Manuka Oval, western side of the ground. This game played in bright sunshine. The light towers now, the artificial light seems surplus to requirement as Powell goes down the line. As Taylor in the contest now again down there with Teakle. Ash, though, on the burst. Runs across the defensive goal mouth of the Giants. A couple of bounces, too quick for Sherry. Third bounce now. Floats the hand pass back here to Briggs. Speaking of big man. And now Whitfield run down by Zerha. Footy comes loose. Umpire lets it go now. Teakle fires it back now to Scott. From 50, he snaps and bounces it end over end and through for a minor score.
Well, I know Lockie Ash is a run and carry player, but sometimes it's heart in the mouth stuff, isn't it? Like, there was no plan whatsoever there when he took off and he tried to take on the defenders. He had to end up handballing to Kieran Briggs behind him standing still, and it just invited the pressure. You've got to have a plan.
Giants lead now just 33 points. We've gone 6 minutes in the last term. North have fought back into this game really well. Still well and truly in the Giants' control, of course, but it was getting ugly for a moment there. Some resilience from the Kangaroos. Here's Thomas. His kick to half forward. Comben made a contest. Halloran tried to rove it, but Wardlaw was right there with him and applied a strong tackle. We'll have a ball up at right half forward for the Giants. Briggs and Sherry in what's been an absorbing ruck battle. Sherry wins it down. Cornelio gathers it. His kick is smothered though. Scott pushes Whitfield off the football, then gathers it and gives it to Davies Uniacke, who has been excellent. And he goes short and finds Teakle on the wing. Davies Uniacke up to 18 disposals, but so many of them from the centre of the ground.
Bryn Teakle out of Northampton in WA, which is a town that just punches well above its weight in terms of producing footy superstars. Inside 50, and it's marked by Himmelberg. Talking about the Cripses, Josh Kennedy. There's a lot of big name. Paul Hazelby, of course, from that part of the world, just around Geraldton there. Himmelberg swings it back onto his right boot at the outer side, and it's marked by Callum Brown. 4 goals in the first half for the Irishman. Re-signed on a new 3-year deal recently. Called to play on. Low ball for Jones. Too quick, though, for Comben. Works the hand pass forward. O'Halloran chasing it. Briggs pats it back to him. Some work to do now for O'Halloran, and getting there first was the opponent in there in Caleb Daniel, who's brought to ground. We'll throw it up on the point of the square on the outer side. Giants by 33 points here at Manuka. 106 plays 73.
Here's Darcy Jones. It's a free kick going the way of North Melbourne, though. And it'll go the way of Tristan Sherry.
Yeah, Briggs got into his back.
The Sherry at centre half back off a 3-week suspension. Probably out of all Australian calculations now. Grundy and Gawn have gone way past him.
And Witts.
And Witts as well. Luke Jackson, of course, will be in the ruck discussions. Zalia made a nice contest in front of Darling, who's probably had the better of him this afternoon with 3 goals to his name.
It's a pretty impressive season from a lot of ruckmen, isn't it? I don't know, we normally got this many ruckmen in unbelievable form.
Ball up, right half back for the Giants.
Sherry. Hand pass to the outside now for Sheasel. Works it back there to Scott running by. Tumbling kick inside 50 now, and it's missed Leka Lear and also Jack Darling. So is your pick Max Gawn, Brodie Grundy?
Yeah, they're the two.
Yeah.
It's out of those two, but yeah, I mean...
Both might get in.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's true. That's true.
It's the All-Australian team. They can pick a bloody ruck at full forward if they want. They can do what they like. It's a joke sometimes. Sherry. Off here to Fonte, slips to Scott, tackle. Back now Thomas, he was dispossessed as well. Fonte bursts through again, Darling gets him. Angwin back to Leka Lear. And now Tom Green, the local Canberra lad. Cornelio, Green, little 1-2, keeps running. Sends it off half back here for the Giants. And Comben can't mark. Patted away there by Rowston. Cadman over his shoulder there. Into the path of Brown. Mopping up though Rowston again for the Giants on the outer side. They try again through Cadman. Back to Thomas. He slips the tackle of Comben. Now Cornelio works it back wide to Thomas. And they're away here on the outer wing.
Thomas goes short. His kick finds O'Halloran. Been super busy. And out of half forward, he hits up Rowston. Possession number 22 from O'Halloran. Rowston goes inboard, and that is well done defensively by O'Sullivan. The kick was intended for Cadman. and he just scanned across and took the intercept mark, knew exactly what was happening there, Finn O'Sullivan. Giants lead by 33 points. O'Sullivan goes short to Sheasel, and now out wide to Dylan Stevens, who's trying his hardest on that outer wing in front of the Tom Green fan club, which looks to be sponsored now by Green Company.
Yes, it's actually got a green sign, which makes sense. It'd be a prerequisite of the Tom Green fan club, I would think, have some sort of green involved. Zerha marks the ball coming inboard to him, just sort of halfway on the outer side.
The one thing the Giants really struggled with this quarter is just their ball use, either by foot or even fumbling the footy.
Also been good in that department. Yep. Zerha goes inside 50, missed the pack. Briggs brought down by Sheasel, a big, desperate tackle from the smaller body in Sheasel. And the ball trickles out of bounds for a throw in at the left forward pocket.
That's a ball up, I think. It was a long wait on a whistle.
Yeah, not quite there on the boundary line, so it's going to be a ball up. Briggs and Sherry again. Tap down the air in the path of Bedford. Hurried kick, the spirals beyond defensive 50. Cadman goes up. You get a push there from Comben. Free kick for Aaron Cadman.
Sheasel now leads all possession getters with 27. Cadman with 3 goals. There's the free kick at half back. Goes short to Darcy Jones. Works it forward further to Thomas on the wing. Now the kick inside 50, looking for Toby Green. Try to work his opponent in Powell out of the way, and he's then wrapped up. We'll have a ball up just inside 50 for the Giants after the footy hit the ground. GWS up by 33 points. North have fought back nicely after the margin got out to 10 goals. Here is Green, and his arm held by Cooper Harvey. We'll have another ball up right next to the last one.
Yeah, definitely given the points this second half to North. I think they've been much better than the Giants. Scoreboard-wise, I think it's probably pretty similar, but in terms of the game, I think they've done a great job.
Up in the air it goes. Riccardi wins it down. And again, there's a pile-on just inside 50. Powell tackled by O'Halloran. The umpire wastes no time. We'll throw it in the air again. Giants by 33 points. It was 58 at one stage in that third quarter. Sherry's kick smothered here off half-back. Gathered by Bedford of the Giants. O'Halloran missed it. Davies Uniac here, back to the big man Sherry, and it's going to be holding the ball. Tom Green into him, and it will be a free kick here coming the way of the Giants and Stephen Cornelio.
So Cornelio, after missing so much footy this season, starting to build some really nice form together. Kicks to the top of the square. Toby Green couldn't take the mark. Here is Callum Brown for his 5th. An equal career high for the Irishman. It just spilled his way at the back of the pack, and he socketed it through from a couple of metres out. He kicked 4 in the first half. He's barely been sighted since, but he finally has his 5th, and that matches the haul that he managed in round 1 of last season against Collingwood.
Just a crumbing goal, this one for Cal Brown. Toby Green had a massive fly in at the contest, just went over his head. Cal Brown stayed down out the back, was able to just kick it off the ground through for his 5th goal. I mean, he had a terrific first half. He kicked 3 in the first quarter. He was on fire, really. Didn't see him in the third, but he'd be happy to get back on the scoreboard here in the last quarter. It was Cornelio, I think, that laid the tackle on Cherry that allowed him to get the ball back and send it inside deep.
The voice of former Swan and Blue, Jason Saddington on ABC Sport. On the restart, Riccardi competes with Teakle. Parker runs around here. Centre clearance win for him. Kick, though, not so great. Bounced off Cornelio, who retrieves it for the Giants. Now off to Whitfield. Dropped and now regathered. Thomas, a neat left foot down the line to find Finn Callahan. That's now 26 disposals for the flying Finn. Sends it towards centre half forward. Darcy Jones, strong overhead grab. And he pops it inside forward 50. Options down there. Cadman leaps up. He plays on. He was run down from behind by Griffin Logue. That was Heath Shaw on Nick Revolt style almost, like the librarian, but he played on. And Griffin Logue said, thank you very much, wrapped him up. And it will be the ball one back here for North Melbourne. It comes wide to Zane Dersma.
Excellent work by Logue. Cadman was already thinking about his 4th major.
Jesse Hogan was happy he didn't get that.
Well, he's on 41, so he's only 2 behind Hogan. As North chip it out to Zane Dersma, now playing as a defender as he tries to find some form in this North outfit. The kick to half forward is punched away from Trembath by Himmelberg, who's been arguably the Giants' best defender. Trembath has 3 on debut, a shining light for the Roos, along with several others who have tried really hard. 39 points the Giants lead by, but maybe they're paying him even more respect now. Himmelberg wasn't allowing Trembath to influence that contest.
Yeah, let's go the spoil instead of the mark. Trembath's been a dangerous target.
Boundary throw in, right half forward for North.
Umpire tosses it back in. Riccardi up in front. Teagle, though, palms it down. Only into the path of Cornelio. It was worried by Parker. Slapped away again to Riccardi. Whitfield waits for it. Paddles it with advantage here. Joe Fonte under some pressure from Zerha. And now Iden gets it back here to Sam Taylor. Bursting off the fullback line now. He finds Darcy Jones. The Giants are away. Here's Riccardi. He'd love to get in the scoring action as well. Little too deep, the kick for Rouston. Picked off by Logan, defence for North Melbourne. Rouston tries again, though. Competes with Harvey. Sends it back from whence it came, and it's marked in the forward line by Grajewski. He's 45 from goal. Plays on in front of the scoreboard. And on the run, he's missed the near side. Minor score GWS 17-11, 113. They lead by 40 points here on North Melbourne, who are 11-7, 73.
Interesting decision to have a shot on goal. I reckon Toby Green was... He had about 15 metres free.
15 and
closer to goal.
15 and a half gone in the final term. The kick out of defence by North was searching for Teakle, but it was around the big ruckman's ankles and he struggled to get down and pick it up. Spilled off his boots and out for a boundary throw in. Left half forward for the Giants.
Fair enough. Ruckman don't want it around their feet, do they? Put it in the air.
Giants up by 40. It's Briggs and Teakle wrestling away. Briggs palms it down neatly. Callahan gathers it for possession number 27. Got it to Whitfield. Excellent kick on his left, and Toby Green's marked it. Like a diving slip catch. Played on quickly, though. Had his kick smothered. Falls the way of Darcy Jones, and he will slot it through. No, he won't. Had so much time. Had players calling at him from everywhere. Maybe that distracted him because he snapped from 20 out straight in front, missed near side for a behind.
I reckon that's called karma on Grzewski there. Because he was free for the handball over the top. He's the one that burnt Toby Green in the last play.
He went to snap and then just looked up at who was calling. Maybe that knocked him off his concentration and he missed his shot.
Well, here you go. In the percentage game, they've been wasteful their last couple of shots here.
McKercher on the kick out for the Kangaroos. Skids it to the outer side. Fonte there gets there for the Giants. And spins out of a tackle. Jones running by, receives a hand pass. Sweeps it wide here to his skipper. Toby Green can snap from 40 and it comes up short. Intercepted there by Griffin Logue at full back. So the Giants just keep going forward, but no sort of result. Not getting the final result there as far as goals. Here's Davies Uniacke. By the way, at the MCG, late stages second term there, Bulldogs lead the Melbourne Demons by 11 points. That's on the ABC Listen app via the ABC AFL button. Here is the kick from Davies Uniacke to a 2-on-2. Taylor parks himself under it. At the drop there, Trembath for North. His handball goes nowhere. Eventually went out of bounds by Finn Callahan. 65 around from goal at right half forward for the Kangaroos, who trail by 41 points here at Manuka Oval. And we've played now 18 minutes in this final term on ABC Sport. Umpire
hauls it back in. Briggs wins front position, palms it down. We'll have another boundary throw in. Halloran can't quite lock the ball in play. Giants lead by 41 points. So now back on track. But the opposition will get much tougher next week when they travel to take on Gold Coast away. That is the biggest game between the two newest entities in the AFL, without a shadow of a doubt.
At 12:35 p.m. at Carrara next week. Can't wait.
A time slot that they have usually understood.
Yeah.
Right now they might say we're deserving of something a whole lot better. Halloran gets it back to Whitfield and the Giants can move it off half back. Whitfield's kick finds Callum Brown.
5 goals today for the Irishman. Goes down the line now. Grajewski in the contest with Pink. Gets some separation, does Grajewski. Run down by Toby Pink. Out of bounds for a throw-in. The ball stay alive? No. It's right near the junction of 50. A stoppage will be there for the Giants at right half forward. They lead by 41. As mentioned, it was 58 points at one stage. The Kangaroos have pulled it back a little bit, either side of three-quarter time, but it will be a win for the Giants as we approach time on here in Canberra, and they'll be winners in their final game in the capital this year. Lost the first two, win this one. 2 big games coming up, as you mentioned, the Suns and the Saints at the Showground in round 24. It's going to be a free kick for a hold going Jack Darling's way on the outer side of the ground.
Darling, it's kick 3 for North. Short to Sheasel. Possession number 29 for the North captain this afternoon in the absence of Simkin. Trembath makes another strong contest. Brought the ball to ground from 5 deep in that pack. Himmelberg gathers it in the right back pocket. His handball looked for Fonte. He was on the ground at the time. Fonte says, how on earth was I meant to gather that one? And Dylan Stevens takes the football over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. Left half forward for North.
He's led well the second half, Sheasel, hasn't he? As the captain today. He's been one player that's really lifted for them, being able to win the ball through the middle, show some speed, get some clearances.
Toss back in. Onto it here is Wardlaw for the Kangaroos. Right off the tap. Stevens gets some pressure there from Brown. Finds his teammate Daniel out wide. That's his 19th disposal today, Caleb Daniel. Dropped now by Sherry. Picked up Whitfield of the Giants. Callahan. Good vision there for Jones. They're bursting off half-back. His handball, though, missed Callahan on the return. Almost tunnelled there by his teammate, Harvey Thomas. On the overlap, here go North Melbourne. Advantage paid as Parker finds McKercher, who lets fly from 45. And Colby McKercher, a nice goal on the run late in the game here for the Kangaroos. We'll cut the margin back to 35 points. North Melbourne are 12-7-79. The Giants are 17-12-114. We've just hit the 21-minute mark here of the final term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
McKercher's another one of those players that's been really good in the second half. He's been given some good run for North, also off half-back and through the middle of the ground. And this time to be able to break the paint and get a shot on goal and finish. He's a really important player to the future of North, isn't he? He's a terrific footballer, knows how to find it, uses it well. So he's had a terrific second half also with Sheasel. They've found plenty of the ball, those two.
He's becoming one of the best in the comp at finishing on his left on the run. He kicked a brilliant goal last week against the Saints. When Callahan does it for the Giants, you think of players like Stewie Maxfield, your old teammate, Simon Goodwin, those players on the left who you just knew they were a very good chance to slot it.
Kane Farrell does it for Port Adelaide.
McKercher with a lovely finish. Here's Toby Green. Oh, he gave a high fend off to Tom Powell. That's a free kick against for sure. That was some of the Toby Green aggression that we don't necessarily like. Here's Parker looking for Trembath on the lead. Big leap by Trembath over his head though. Kind of right and gathers it and spots up Thomas. That was pretty fierce from Toby Green. I'm not quite sure that was the best way to try and break the tackle as Thomas goes short to Lockie Whitfield, the right half back.
28 disposals now for Lockie Whitfield. Tends to have a lot of ball, averaging 29 disposals, or 28 in fact. He had 29 last week against the Bulldogs, but 28 possessions a game. Takes all the kick-ins as well, which obviously helps. Himmelberg, short kick to Callahan. All the way back here towards Connor Ryden. To Lear, who's unmarked at centre-half back. About 5.5 minutes of game time left here in Canberra. We're off to the Eagles and the Crows in Perth next. Well, this is on local radio through WA and SA. Chain of hand pass here. Angwin to Fonte. Deep inside 50. Leaping up Grajewski. Marks in the pocket. On a tight angle. An opportunity here for Max Grajewski.
They said to shift the ball sideways that time, the Giants. They couldn't get it through the middle. They couldn't get into the runner's hands, so they had to kick their way through, but shifted it from one side to the other where they did have the extra numbers and overlap. And then once they got it deep to Grajewski, he was all alone in the pocket.
Opens up the angle here, swings it right across the face of goal for a minor score. Not quite the goal fest we saw in the third term here.
They've been wasteful, the Giants. They've missed a couple. Cadman obviously played on when he should have gone back and just kicked one. Which again, when we're talking about percentage, those 2 or 3 goals, who knows, could make a difference.
Giants lead by a clean 6 goals. Daniel brings it back in. Himmelberg has front position to try and win the football back for the Giants, and he wins a free kick for a chopping of the arms and pokes it into the pocket. Toby Green surely held that for long enough. Umpire says no. Well done by Sheasel to work back and make a contest. Shared it with Caleb Daniel. Work it out to Dylan Stevens. We'll have a ball up just outside 50 for the Giants, who are 17-13, 115. North 12-7-79. Callahan with 29 touches for the Giants. Sheasel with 30 for North. Umpire throws it up. Luke Parker made a nice contest there. It spilled out the way of Caleb Daniel. Kicks it up to the wing. Well done by Himmelberg. He's been really good down back for the Giants, and he takes another strong defensive mark.
I think that's his 6th mark from the Oppo. Intercept mark. That's a pretty big number.
Harvey Thomas hit down the line to find Toby Green. And he's still 65 from goal. Centering ball to find Tom Green. He paid the mark, he is. So, here he is, the Canberra lad with a nice little cherry on top here in this game in his home city. A set shot from a slight angle 30 metres out.
Should kick it, needs to kick it. Like I said, they've just wasted a few chances. So this is a big kick from Tom Green, just to push this lead back out.
Second half has been, a lot of ways, belonged to North Melbourne.
Yep. Again, not so much on the scoreboard, but definitely in terms of the way the game's been played. North have had the better of the Giants in this second half.
Tom Green received this ball from his captain. He's on the approach from 35. They are orange, charcoal and green all over. Toby to Tom, and a goal for the Canberra lad to extend that margin out to 42 points. 121 plays 79 here at Manuka Oval. We've played now 26 minutes in this final term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
Fine, it's become the regular thing. Tom Green kicking a goal here at Manuka Oval. He seems to do it every time he's here in front of the locals. He's just had another consistent game. Tom Green winning the footy for them. He's had the 23 touches. He normally probably gets a few more, but in terms of contested, 14 contested possessions, 11 hard ball gets, and like we said, he's been able to hit the scoreboard again with a goal.
Be a good chance for an All-Australian Blazer, which I think would be his first. Both he and Callaghan, you'd imagine, would be really strong chances of winning their first All-Australian berths. Sam Taylor as well will be a strong chance of another one in defence as Cornelio wraps up Wardlaw. Giants up by 42 points.
So you'd think they'd like to be in the squad, or the initial squad.
And that's a certainty. Yep. And the final team, they'd be pretty likely as well. Callaghan, you would think, would be a slightly better chance than Tom Green, but both would be right in the mix.
Yep. Yeah, Callaghan, just his explosiveness has been unbelievable through at times this year, hasn't it?
Won some games off his own boot for the Giants as Tom Green wins another one. Gets it to Rouston, and Cadman out in a strong lead. Marks in front of Comben, and he can shoot from 40 out straight in front, looking for his fourth goal, and this would take him one off Jesse Hogan in the Giants' leading goal kicker stakes.
He's definitely had the better of Comben in terms of being able to come forward and either run and jump at the ball or get the lead mark like he did on this occasion.
He's kicking a goal with a lot of confidence at the moment, Aaron Cadman, and that is another beautiful finish. Never looked like missing. He's got 4. He's just in that rhythm at the moment. Like a golfer, when they step up to the tee and you just think this is going straight. He's just got into his stride, and it just never looks like deviating right now.
No, I mean, he's always been a lovely set shot for goal. It's just everything's in position, isn't it? It looks easy, it looks seamless, you're saying, but his football's looking that way at the moment, isn't it? His movement around the ground, but he's running, he's jumping. Not just uncontested marks, run and jump, but even, we see him float across packs. He's just really starting to hit his strides, and I mean, it's exciting to watch, and I think it's exciting for the Giants in the future.
GWS by 48 points. Half-time at the MCG, the Bulldogs 5-10-40, leads Melbourne 4-6-30. And, of course, we're off to West Coast versus Adelaide at Perth Stadium very shortly. Clint Wilden and the team. Cornelio missed the opportunity to clear here, was just put off the kick by Wardlaw, who in turn ducks out of a Callaghan tackle, swings it wide. Angwin back with the flight courageously. Marks at half-back for the Giants. So they control things again here, the Giants. Haven't put North Melbourne away, really. I mean, 58 points was their lead in the third quarter, but the North have scrapped back, and it hasn't sort of blown out to an embarrassing sort of 15-goal or 10-goal effort. So the Giants will at least do the right thing by their own standards. Both of their last 2 games are winnable. Next week on the Gold Coast is massive. Here's Tom Green in front of his own marquee of the fan club. Skids a kick inside 50. We'll get a whistle here for a player being held, and it will go the way of Toby Green in that right forward pocket in front of the scoreboard.
He's had a game, Toby Green. He's been able to win the footy. He's had a lot of contests, got shots on goal. He's marked the ball. I certainly missed him last week, that's for sure. We know that. The Giants always well with him in there.
2 goals, 3 so far today. 13 score involvements in total for Toby Green. There is, in fact, his 3rd goal from a very good-looking set shot. And they extend the lead once more beyond that 50-point mark. It's 54 points away of the Giants, 20 13, 133, plays 12.779. We're about to hit the half-hour mark here at Manuka Oval in its very late stages. Jason Saddington.
It's big impact, isn't it? I mean, Toby does that, we know, but from a forward to be able to find that much footy, 20-odd touches when you're playing across half forward. He does have his little stints in the middle, but 3 goals, 3, that's a lot of shots on goal as well. He's certainly a player that they need to stay in their team, stay in that front half, because he just makes everyone so much better around him.
They've pulled away late, and Adam Kingsley has a content look on his face as a result. I think when it was around 30 points, you probably thought we should be better than that.
Yeah. It's gone away from that feel of, it's a bit of that loss feel that we should have done better to, okay, not a bad win in the end.
Yeah, out to 54 points. That being said, North have tried really hard. The class of the Giants simply too great. Here's Davies Uniacke as a bounce in the middle of the ground, bursts forward, kicks, looking for Powell down there, and Zerha and Iden outmark Zerha, who's, let's be honest, had a really poor game. Been asked to lead in the absence of Larkey and Curtis and hasn't given them too much. Up against a really good player in Connor Iden, of course, but he's been really quiet. Iden's kick is taken over the boundary line. A throw in with time ticking down. The final siren not too far away. The Giants up by 54 points in Canberra.
A bounce down in Perth, 45 minutes away. The West Coast Eagles and the Adelaide Crows. 18th versus first, Galbion, unfortunately, but opportunity for the Crows to go a game clear on top. Back in it comes. Missed by Luke Parker. Roused and busting through as well. Parker regathers, now drops the ball. Callahan had over it as well. He's been fighting to the death here for the Giants. 30 disposals for Finn Callahan. And now Scott, in fact Davies Uniacke it is, who's wrapped up on this commentary side of Manuka Oval with just mere seconds left here. Dogs by 10 points at the MCG halftime there. The Giants will register their 14th win, which is not safe in this logjam for top 8 finishes. Cornelio comes inboard now, picked off by Finn O'Sullivan. Goes wide to Constanti, spins, but Darcy Jones got him right on the full-time siren. The Giants will prevail here at Manuka Oval. There were glimpses there from North Melbourne, but the Giants take care of business coming off their worst loss under Adam Kingsley. They prevail to the tune of 54 points here at Manuka Oval in Canberra. That's unless Geordie Payne can go to Torp and kick his free kick after the full-time siren from 60 metres out. Into the slight breeze here. The final action of this game, he does go the barrel. It's wobbling there, and it is forced away by Lecalier, and it remains the Giants 20-13, 133 to 12-7-79. Crowd of just shy of 12,000 here in the capital. Jason Saddington, how did you see it transpire here across the afternoon?
Yeah, the Giants obviously did the job. They were never in doubt of winning the game of football. That was always going to happen. They jumped out to that early lead, and they broke it open by a good, out to that 40, 50-odd points a few times. And North just kept coming back. They got back within 30 in that last quarter, but the Giants then kicked away again late, as they probably hoped to do, and try and really boost their percentage. But I thought North had a really good second half until that last few minutes. They competed well. They got some run going in their game. It was great to see the debut from Trembath. I thought he was terrific. But the Giants, they got the job done. Do we learn any more about the Giants when we look into finals? Not really from today. But they'll be happy with the win.
While I give the goal kickers, you give us your 3-2-1 in about 30 seconds' time. We had 5 goals for Callum Brown, 4 goals for Aaron Cadman. A good spread of kickers there with, of course, Jesse Hogan being out of the side. Jake Stringer, who was tactically subbed at three-quarter time, kicked 3. And 2 goals for Toby Green. Singles for Harvey Thomas, Ryan Anglin, Tom Green, Toby Bedford as well for the Giants. Meanwhile, North Melbourne, it was 3 on debut for Cooper Trembath, 3 for Jack Darling, 2 for Cooper Harvey, kicked their first of the game. Singles McKercher, Stevens, Payne, Parker. Also on the board there for North Melbourne. Who are your 3 best, Sado?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. Unlucky with a couple of North players. I thought Sheasel, Parker and McKercher had all good games, but the Giants are going to get them. 1 vote, Finn Callahan. Just kept racking up the footy, 31 touches, 10 score involvements, 15 contested possessions. He gets 1 vote. In terms of influence, certainly early in the game, Harry Himmelberg, 2 votes.
Yep.
Intercept mark, he had 6. He was terrific. And 3 votes I'm giving to Toby Green. He had the 23 touches, 3 goals, 14 score involvements. I thought he was the best.
3 for the Giants skipper, 2 for Himmelberg, 1 for Finn Callaghan. Next week they're away to the Gold Coast Suns at Carrara. Massive game Saturday early afternoon. Then, of course, St Kilda at home, and North have Richmond. That's a battle of their weight division, certainly at Belrive Sunday early. Then they host Adelaide at Docklands in round 24. Thank you, Sato. Thank you, Garby.
Yeah, thank you, Spriggy.
We're off to Perth, most of us. Off to Clint Wilden, Mitch Turner, Peter Bell and Chris Waterman alongside Akash Vodadar there for Perth Stadium. West Coast versus Adelaide. Enjoyed that. Here it was the Giants by 54 points over North Melbourne.
Hello, Patrick Stack here. Do you like sport and good conversation? Then we've got a great podcast for you. One cracking story, in depth, every day.